Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our 2024 Queensland Junior State Track Championships. Jam-packed this morning. We're going to kick off with our under 15 men and women in their individual pursuit qualifying. That's 2,000 metres. Then we've got a big day of sprinting for our under 17s. They'll come up for their qualifying. Later on this afternoon, we'll have our individual pursuit finals, our sprint finals, team pursuit qualifying, and our under 15 scratch races. Looking forward to an amazing day here at Animere's Velodrome. First up on track, we're going to have our under 15 women. First matchup will be the two Hamilton Wheelers girls, Matilda Taylor and Hannah Walters. Next up, we'll have Kenzie Smith and Sienna Golding. Then our final matchup, we'll have Ava Robbins and Elise Vaughan. These riders already having a good campaign out on day 1 yesterday. We'll look forward to see how they go today. All right, on the front straight, we'll have Matilda Taylor. On the back straight, Hannah Walters. 2,000 metres yesterday, we saw some super quick starts, but also some super tired legs in those final 2 or 3 laps. Individual pursuit's a hard game. "30 seconds to go. Well, a bit of a shaky start out of the gates by Matilda Taylor, but she pulls it back together. Hannah nice and strong out of the gates on the back straight. Both young ladies out of the saddle, trying to get into their rhythm as they come into the home straight. Hannah now settled into the bars. Matilda into her bars. Round they go. Half a lap done. 7.5 to go. Both girls looking super comfortable. Still not up to full speed yet as they come around. Neck and neck as we go through. Hannah Walters just with a slim lead, about 0.4 of a second over that first lap. First couple of laps to establish their pace. It's later on in the event when the legs get tired, when the lap times start to change. So they come around now. It'll still be Hannah Walters in the lead, still only just over Tilly Taylor. About 0.7 of a second between the two right now. Matilda Taylor just starting to lose a little bit more ground on Hannah. Hannah's gone out fairly quick. We'll see if that hurts as the laps count down. So they come across the line now. Matilda about 0.7 still in the lead. They're coming up to the halfway mark now for this 2,000 metre event. Hannah Walters looking pretty comfortable on her bike. Matilda Taylor, she hasn't changed her cadence at all. That might pay dividends later on. Halfway through, it's Hannah Walters by about 0.6 of a second over Matilda Taylor. There's been nothing between these two young ladies the whole time. Very similar pace. They've settled into their rhythm well. Both looking really good on the bike. They're strong. There's no wobbling yet. So they come round, they'll get 3 more to go, 750 metres. Looks like Matilda, has moved into the lead just by 0.01 of a second. Tide changing a little bit now. Matilda starting to pick it up a little bit. Hannah maybe struggling a little bit. She came out pretty quick out of the blocks. That could be starting to hurt now. As we see, Matilda Taylor's definitely opened a gap now. It's gone out to about 4 or 5 bike lengths. And it's about just under a second, 0.9 of a second now in favour of Matilda Taylor. Both ladies got about a lap and a half to go now. They're really going to have to start pushing it. Hannah Walters really starting to string it back now as well. This will be close as they go into their last lap. As Matilda Taylor comes around the bend, Hannah Walters coming around. There's still a gap of about 3 bike lengths. There's not much in it. It's only 0.7 as they come around. What can Hannah Walters do? Can she pull this back? There's 0.6, 0.7 of a second. Half a lap to go for the 2 ladies now. Nothing in it. There's a bike length as they go half a lap down. As they come through, nearly finish their 2,000 metres, 8 laps of Annemiers Velodrome. It'll be Matilda Taylor crossing the line first with a 3:14.7. And Hannah Walters with a 3:15.5. They'll be the benchmark for our next 4 riders to try and beat. Nice and close. There was never more than a second between the 2 girls. Next up on track, we have Mackenzie Smith from the Gold Coast Cycling Club. She took home bronze in the sprint matchups yesterday. She'll be up against Sienna Golding from Balmoral, who took out the silver. Yep, go outside. All right, riders set. Time is on, about 30 seconds to go. Sienna Golding on the back straight. Mackenzie Smith here on the front straight. Both girls look very determined on their bikes. Off they go. Good strong start from Mackenzie Smith. A little bit shaky for Sienna on the back straight. Both girls out of their saddle. Sienna already seated. She's looking to get through. Mackenzie now seated in her bike as well as they both get into their bars. No, Sienna Golding hasn't got bars. She's going to do 8 laps in her sprint bars. Off to a flying start after a bit shaky out of the gates. It'll be Sienna Golding who will lead the first lap. She's already got about 0.7 of a second over Mackenzie Smith. Big strong start. But as we can see, that can really hurt later on. So Sienna Golding will be stuck in that position for the rest of her time out on the track. As we go through now, it'll still be Sienna in the lead. It is. She's got about 1.5 seconds now over Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie looking strong. Sienna got more of that sprint position as she rolls down the front straight. Both girls had a big hit out yesterday, so we'll see how the legs hold up this morning. Sienna still with a really good lead. She's got about 2 seconds now. It is about 2.7 seconds over Mackenzie Smith. As they come around with 4.5 laps to go, we're almost halfway there. Sienna Golding putting in a really good show, looking really strong. We're halfway through now, 1 kilometre done for Sienna Golding. She's got a commanding lead over Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie dropping back by quite a bit now. Sienna Golding almost catching a glimpse of Mackenzie as she goes down the back straight. Mackenzie starting to shake a little bit on the bike as well, a bit to wobble. Sienna now starting to show signs that she's tiring out a bit. It's a long 8 laps. 3 laps now to go for Mackenzie Smith. 2.5 to go for Sienna Golding. So they roll around. The consistent pace may help Mackenzie, but there's only 2 laps to go for Sienna, and she can see Mackenzie at the end of the back straight, so that'll give her something to chase down when she's feeling tired. Mackenzie now has got 2 laps to go. Long way behind for Mackenzie. Sienna Golding now only 40 metres behind as Mackenzie rolls into the back straight. There's the bell for Sienna Golding. She's only got 1 lap to go. Still 1.5 to go for Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie's starting to roll and wobble on the bike as she comes across the line. Mackenzie's still sitting at the second fastest time. Half a lap now to go for Sienna Golding. 1 lap to go for Mackenzie Smith as Sienna rolls around 1 and 2. She'll come down to the line and set a time. Mackenzie Smith still going. Sienna Golding with the fastest time of a 2:54.2. As we wait for Mackenzie Smith to come down the front straight, she pushes it all the way. She does, still sets the second fastest time with a 3:04.2. So Sienna Golding setting the fastest time so far. Mackenzie Smith coming in just behind, but still setting the second fastest time. They'll be the times looking for Ava Robbins and Elise Vaughan. Sienna Golding will go through to a final. So will Mackenzie Smith. Just depends which one. Up next, Ava Robbins from Balmoral Cycling Club and Elise Vaughan from Bundaberg. Ava having a dominant day here at Animere's Velodrome yesterday. Elise Vaughan taking home bronze in the points race last night, so this will be a good matchup. Both riders set on their bikes, about 30 seconds to go. Textbook start on the front straight from Ava Robbins. She's out of the saddle and really giving it a go. Elise Vaughan out of the gates really well on the back straight. Ava Robbins still out of the saddle. Elise Vaughan seated. Elise now into her bars. Ava into her bars. No, Elise hasn't got sprint pursuit bars on. Similar to Sienna Golding before, she'll be going sprint bars the whole way. Good fast first lap from Ava Robbins. She sets the fastest time. Elise Vaughan, couple of seconds behind. She's into third. Ava coming out like a bullet in this 2,000 metre individual pursuit. Ava now coming around 2 laps down. Super quick time, a 40.4. 45.5 for Elise Vaughan, so she's about 5 seconds behind Ava now as they come around. Ava's setting a cracking time as she rolls around the track. 3 laps down now for Ava, and she's sub 1 minute, a 59.8. 3 cracking laps for Ava Robbins as she looks to now see Elise Vaughan in the back straight. She's already got eyes on her as she comes through. Elise Vaughan into third position. Coming around into the home straight. This is halfway for Ava as she's got her sights on Sienna, Elise right in front of her, a 1:19.6 for Ava Robbins. Now she goes around the outside of Elise Vaughan into the back straight. Elise will keep going. This is a qualifying time. Elise struggling a little bit on the back straight as Ava looking stronger and stronger as she comes through. 3 more laps to go for Ava as she comes through, setting a time for 1:40. Super quick, still maintains that lead. Elise Vaughan really starting to tire out now as she comes around the back straight. She'll get 3 laps to go now as well. Elise Vaughan still in the third fastest time. This is still a good time from Elise Vaughan. Ava Robbins, 2 minutes flat as she comes through. Ava Robbins looking super strong on the bike, starting to wear out a little bit now. You can see a bit of movement on the bike as she comes around. She'll get the bell this time around. 7 done, 1 to go. Super time at 2:20.4. Ava really pushing now, good. Hasn't lost focus, hasn't moved. Elise Vaughan still coming through. Jackie Menglemore getting her rider to come through. As she comes into the home straight, Ava Robbins set a cracking time. A 2:40.1 as Elise Vaughan gets her bell lap. Half a lap now to go for Elise Vaughan. She's pushing it all the way. She's holding on to third place at the moment. What can she do? Really trying to get in that time inside of Mackenzie Smith. She needs to beat a 3:04. She does with a 3:03.85. So through to the finals, that'll be to the gold final. That'll be Ava Robbins and Sienna Golding. Into the bronze final, that'll be Mackenzie Smith and Elise Vaughan. Great riding from the young ladies. She's starting to get her phone now. Jodie, just wait a second. All right, so that's our under 15 ladies done. Up next, our under 15 men. First up, Jack Kelly. It looks like we haven't got Ollie Urry for this one, so it'll be just Jack Kelly against the clock. He'll set the time for everyone else to chase down. Jake Kelly. So Jake Kelly, he's out on the start line now. 24 seconds to go. He'll set the time for everyone else to chase down. Not a bad start there from Jake Kelly as he gets out of the gates. Straight into the bars before he hits turn 1. Going to settle into his rhythm as quickly as he can. This will be the time for all others to match. What can he set? He wants to make it hard for everybody but not go out too hard at the same time. 1 lap down, a 24.5, so a good start from Jake Kelly. He'll look to maintain a pace around about 20, 21 seconds per lap would be ideal in an under 15s pursuit. As he comes through now, 2 laps down. As he sets the time, he does. Sets about a 20-second lap. He's on a 44.8 as they stand at the moment. 6 more laps to go, 1,500 metres. Round he comes. Just Jake against the clock as they come through. 5 laps to go now for Jake. 22 seconds for that one, so he's on a 106.3. Just starting to tire out a bit, so he's still got 5 laps to go. As he comes through this time, he'll be halfway, 1,000 more metres to go. What can he do? Starting to slow down a little bit, so he had a quick start, but he needs to start moving now. He's on a 128.6, 1,000 metres to go for Jake Kelly. Really starting to hurt now. The first 2 laps were really crackers. Now he's starting to wear out, he's starting to get tired. He'll come around now, 3 laps to go, 750 metres. What can he pull out? Now's the time you've got to give it everything. If you're going to go through, he's on a 151.4. Really starting to tire. You can see as he comes around 1 and 2. Those first 2 or 3 laps starting to pay a toll. As he comes around now, comes around 3 and 4. He'll get 2 laps to go, 500 metres left of Anamir's Velodrome. What can he pull out of the bag? He's got to give it everything now. He's on a 2:14.9. Really got to start to motor home in these last 500 metres if he wants to set a good time. Into the back straight, lap and a half to go. Stretched out, pushing as hard as he can to get through this. Into the home straight he goes. He'll get the bell as he comes across the line. There it is. He's got 250 metres to push. He's on a 2:37.9. Coming around the 1 and 2 now, into the back straight. Really starting to struggle. You can see him wobbling on the bike a bit. He's starting to get really tired. What can he get now? As he comes around 3 and 4 into the home straight. Push it for another 50 metres. He does, head down. Good ride from Jake Kelly with a 2:59.9. Big effort. I think this is Jake's first state titles that he's attended, so great effort and hard to be up against the clock. Next up, Jake's brother, Zach Kelly, also from Balmoral, with Flynn Jensen. Zach Kelly, he'll come from the front straight. Flynn Jensen on the back straight. They'll be looking to beat Jake's time of a 2:59.9. First and second, they'll go through the gold final. Third and fourth, they'll go through the bronze final. If it's possible, it looks like Zach Kelly's grown about another 12 inches in the last couple of weeks. Flynn Jensen set over on the back straight. Zach now ready to go. 30 seconds to go. They'll be chasing down the time of Jake Kelly, a 2:59.9. Oh, a bit of a wobbly start from Zach on the front straight. Good start from Flynn on the back straight. Both riders out of the saddle. They want to get up to speed as quickly as they can and get into those pursuit bars. Flynn down the front straight. It's been half a lap out of the saddle. Now he settles into his bars. Zach into his bars as well. Fast start from Flynn Jensen from Balmoral. As he comes across, he's got about a bike length over Zach. It's about 0.3 of a second now. Flynn Jensen seen the fastest time. Zach with the third fastest. As we've seen before and yesterday, it's the last couple of laps that really make the difference. Go out too hard at the start and it hurts you in the last couple. As they come around, it'd still be Flynn just in front of Zach Kelly. The timer didn't stop there, but not much between them. So Flynn Jensen still with the fastest time. About a bike length between Flynn and Zach as they go through for their half a lap. 3 laps down this time around. It'll still be Flynn by about 2 bike lengths over Zach Kelly. So Flynn still in number 1, Zach still in 3rd position. He'll want to try and catch his brother Jake in these last couple of laps. Still about 2 bike lengths between the 2 boys. Flynn Jensen will come around into the back straight and get his halfway, 4 laps to go, 1,000 metres done, 1,000 to go. He's opened up the gap now to about 3 bike lengths. 1,000 metres to go for both of these young men now. Flynn's had a pretty consistent pace. He's just opened up the gap a little bit on Zach Kelly now. It's out to about 4 or 5. Flynn motoring home. This is looking good for the young man from Balmoral. As he comes across the line, 3 laps to go, 750 metres. This is where it starts to hurt. You can see Zach Kelly in the pain train. Round he comes, 3 laps to go. Flynn Jensen looking steady on his bike. Starting to wobble a little bit now. It's starting to hurt. 2.5 laps to go for Flynn. As he comes around now, we'll get 2 laps to go, 500 metres. Gaps remained about the same, about 4 or 5 bike lengths back to Zach Kelly. Zach moved into second position now, though. He's overtaken his brother. Lap and a half to go now for Flynn Jensen. He's still maintaining about 5, 6, 7 bike lengths over Zach Kelly as they come around. Comes around 1 and 2. He'll get the bell for 1 lap to go, Flynn Jensen. He'll try and maintain that fastest time. He wants to get through the gold final. Zach now with a 1 lap to go. As they're really pushing, they're 1 and 2 on their times at the moment. Flynn Jensen hasn't moved. He's looking rock solid on the bike. What can he come out? Starts to fire. What can he get on this last lap? He needs to beat a time of 2:59.9. He'll do that as he comes across the 9. He'll set the fastest time with a 2:54.8. And Zach comes across the line in second position on a 2:58.4. Nudging his brother out. So new times to beat: Flynn Jensen on a 2:54.8, Zach Kelly on a 2:58.4, and Jake Kelly on a 2:59.9. All sub 3 minutes. Good rides from the boys. Next on the track, we saw these guys have some beautiful rides yesterday. Cam Franks and Riley Dixon. Let's see what they've got left in the tank.
Just an announcement, Brad Davies, you're wanted by the Handicapping Tribunal for sandbagging in B grade at Nunda today. Brad Davies in the orange polo shirt, you're wanted immediately by the Handicapping Tribunal for sandbagging this morning. Thank you.
.30 seconds to go now for Cam Franks and Riley Dixon. Both had some great rides yesterday. Cam super determined in his sprints. Riley trying every tactic under the sun to try and get through to the gold final in his sprint matchups. What will we see from these two young men today? Time to beat 2:54.8. What can they do? Oh, a bit early for the out of the gates for Riley Dixon. Cam Franks spot on. Riley now up out of the saddle. He's trying to make up for that little bit of lost time. He got caught by the gates, went too quick, but he's come out firing. He's got about 2 bike lengths over Cam Franks. Doesn't want to go too quick too soon. You can really pay the price for that later on, but he's out like a rocket. Riley Dixon, this will be the fastest time. It is a 23.2. Cam Franks a bit more steady as they come through. Riley absolutely hammering his first 2 laps. He wants to go as quickly as possible to set the stage. He goes through still in the fastest time with a 42. Cam now into third with a 44. He's found his rhythm. Riley Dixon has not let up on the pedals. He wants to go from go to woe. Coming around now, 3 laps down for Riley. 1:01.7. Cam losing a bit of ground now. He's on a 1:05.5, but he's still in second position. Riley crosses the line. He'll come around this time. He'll get his halfway mark. 1,000 metres down, 1,000 to go. Riley a regular at the World Championships down at Luke Harrop. I think it's on a Wednesday night or a Monday night down there. No stranger to individual pursuits at all as he comes round. 3.5 to go for Cam. 3 laps now to go for Riley Dixon. He's really setting a cracking pace as he comes around to 1:42. Only 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go now for Cam Franks. He looks up at the scoreboard, looks straight ahead. Don't worry about that. You're still in second. Riley Dixon coming around 1 and 2. He'll get 500 metres to go as he comes around this time. There it is, 2 laps to go, Riley. Keep pushing. Cam, you've got 2.25 to go. Push all the way. Cam still looks steady on his bike. He hasn't moved at all. He's still in second spot. He looks up at the scoreboard again to get his time. Riley will come around now. He's not far behind, 40 metres. Riley will get the bell. Cam Franks with a lap and a half to go. Riley with a lap to go now. as they come around 3 and 4. Cam looking steady, needs to up the pace. There's his bell. 1 lap to go for Cam Franks. Half a lap to go for Riley Dixon. Riley looks like he's going to try and catch Cam before the line. What can he do? He's getting into the slipstream. Beautiful finish, gets that little bit of a ride to the end. Half a lap to go for Cam Franks. Riley with a 2:43.9. That's going to be the time to beat. As Cam comes into the home straight, he's going to still have a great time. A 2:53.8. So they're our new fastest time. Riley Dixon with a 2:43.9. Cam Franks with a 2:53.8. 6 more riders to come. Out on track next in the front straight. Silver medalist in the sprint last night, Flynn Larkins. He'll be up against Aidan Parslow on the back straight from Life Cycle Cycling Club. Yeah. Do you want to do it?
If you want to watch.
Prime positive from here anyway. Both riders settle onto their bikes. 30 seconds to go. Flynn Larkins looking super relaxed on his bike. We saw some photos from Fox Zero Sports last night. Flynn practicing his death stare in the sprint. What's he got here in an IP? Gives the thighs a slap. Time to beat Riley Dixon, 2:43.9. Great start out of the gates from both riders. They've practiced that before. Round they go, out of the saddle. Want to get up to speed as quick as they can and then settle into those bars. Good start by Aidan Parslow. He's into the bars already. Flynn still up out of the saddle. Sprint lap into the bars now as he goes into 3 and 4. Aidan Parslow, super quick first lap. He'll take the lead as they go through. Fast time from Aidan, 1 and 2 as they go through. Fast laps from the young men. Looks like a team sprint start lap as they come through now. What have they got? Lap and a half down. 6.5 to go as they come through. It'll still be Aidan in the lead. You don't want to wear yourself out too much at the start. Aidan good on the IP, still in the first place. Flynn slips back to 3rd as they start to move now. What have the boys got in their tank as they come through? 5.5 laps to go for each rider. They want to try and beat the time of Riley Dixon, a 2:43.9, to give them the best chance they can of getting through to the final. What can they do? It's still Aidan in front, 2nd fastest, Flynn 3rd fastest. They've really got to try and push to try and beat Riley's time. Riley was like a bullet out there. Aidan's starting to slow a bit now. There's only about a bike length in it between himself and Flynn as they start to move around. It'll be 4 laps down, 4 laps to go as they come through. Across the line they go. Even Stevens as they go across now. It's Flynn Larkins moved into 2nd, Aidan into 3rd. Really starting to push now. This is starting to hurt from yesterday. What have they got left in the tank? About a bike length in it. Flynn Larkins just over Aidan Parslow. Coming around now. This will be 3 laps to go, 750 metres. They'll have to really push now if they want to catch Riley. Flynn still in 2nd, Aidan still in 3rd. Really going to have to push for these last 3 laps if they want any chance of getting through to the final. As they push, you can see how tired they're getting. About a bike length still between the 2 men. As they come through, they'll get 500 metres to go as they come around. Flynn Larkins still with just a bit of a lead. It's probably out to 3 or 4 bike lengths now. Flynn still in 2nd, Aidan still in 3rd as they come through. Lap and a half to go now for Flynn. Lap and a half for Aidan as they come across the line. What have they got for their last couple of 100 metres? Across the line, they both starting to look tired. Flynn comes out of 3 and 4 into the front straight. 1 lap to go. There's the bell. He's got about 6 over Aidan Parslow. Still with the 2nd fastest time as they come through. Flynn Larkins, you can see him pushing. This is hard for the sprinter. Aidan Parslow now. He's starting to push. He's lost lots of ground in this last lap. Flynn around 3 and 4. What has he got in the bag to try and get through as they come through? Flynn Larkins on the home straight. 2nd fastest time. That'll give Hunter Davis and Harry Dowling something to chase down. Good ride from the sprinter from UQ. Good riding in the IP from the under 15 men and women so far this morning. Riley Dixon still with the fastest time with a 2:43.9.
I reckon that we'll just have to get rid of all these things that take you on.
So as we stand, Riley with a 2:43.9, Flynn Larkins on a 2:49.1, Aidan Parzo with a 2:53.
It's nice taping it up, but it doesn't work because this camera on this angle going down.
4 men to go. Who's going to get into the finals?
Slightly loose. So let's
Okay. Just turned 13.
You're not a sprinter at 13. You're a cyclist at 13.
Flynn Larkin, super cyclist, sprinter / IP performer, according to Bear Liang. On the front straight, Hunter Davis from Bundaberg. On the back straight, Harry Dowling from Hamilton Wheelers.
I reckon what's happened is someone's pulled him at some stage to try and do that. Okay, sorry.
Good start out of the gates for both men. Hunter really starting to push that gear around. He wants to set a fast time. They're all looking to beat Riley on a 2:43.9. What can they do as they go around? Both boys. Harrison now settled into his bars well. He'll look to set a consistent pace. He's been looking forward to this one for a couple of weeks. Round they come. It'll be Hunter Davis in the lead by about 2 bike lengths. Hunter setting the 5th fastest time. Harry with the 9th. As they come through, as we've seen, it's the last couple of laps that really start to hurt, and that's where the times count. Harry looking strong on his bike, settled into those bars. Round comes Hunter, 2 laps down. 4th fastest time with a 43.9. Harry 8th with a 45 flat. 6 laps to go now. 1,500 metres. It's the last 1,000 that really hurt. What can they do? Looks to be not too far apart now. Harry's really upped his pace. There's only about a bike length in it. Hunter into 4th, Harry into 5th. They're moving up the charts now. Really settled into their rhythm. 4.5 laps to go. They're nearly halfway there. What can they do over these last 4 laps? As they come round, Harry Dowling, he's gone into the lead. He's in the 2nd spot with a 125. Hunter Davis in 5th in a 126. Harry's found his rhythm. He's in 2nd spot as they go through. 3.5 laps to go. Harry looking super comfortable on the bike. Hunter starting to struggle a bit now as he comes around 3 and 4. 3 laps now to go for Harry Dowling. He sets the 2nd fastest time. Hunter Davis still in 5th. Harry Dowling, he'll be looking to push for this last 2.5 laps. Came out of the blocks steady, but he's set the pace. He's kept it up. Round he goes. What can he do? He's got 500 or so metres to go. Getting good coaching from Michael Jordan. 2 laps to go. He's still in 2nd position. What can he do in these last 500 metres? Hunter Davis still in 5th. As he's coming around, he's getting the hurry up. 1.5 laps now for Harry. He's starting to increase his speed. What can he get? He wants to try and get a 2:43.9. I think that might be a bit much, but he's going to try and beat Flynn Larkins on a 2:49. There's the bell. He's still in 2nd on a 2:27. Hunter Davis, he comes through. There's his bell, a 2:32. He's slipped back to 6th. Harry Dowling, round he comes into the front straight. He wants to hold on to that 2nd position. He wants to beat a 2:49.1. He'll do that. He won't catch Riley Dixon, but he'll move in the 2nd spot with a 2:48.1. Hunter Davis across the line now with a 2:54.9 to move into 7th. As it stands, Riley Dixon, a 2:43.9. He's in the number 1 spot. Harry Dowling in 2nd with a 2:48.1. Good ride from Harry. In 3rd, a 2:49.1. for Flynn Larkin. So it all comes down to Ollie Jordan and Jacob Cork. Ollie Jordan, our gold medalist from the sprint and the points race last night. He'll be looking to add to his medal tally today. He's up against Jacob Cork. Good to see Jacob back up on the bike. Had a bit of a fall during the sprint matchups yesterday. Let's see what he can do today. Still just getting Jacob's bike set up on the back. OJ and Jacob, they're looking to get into the gold final. What can they do? Shout out to all of Ollie's fans, both around Australia and around the world. Getting quite the fan base. Oh, a bit of a hesitation from Jacob on the back straight. He went too early and got caught. Textbook from Ollie Jordan. He's done that about 8,000 times this year as he comes around 1 and 2. Settles into his saddle, into the bars. Jacob into the sprint bars. Looks like he's going for a 250 metre flyer rather than a 2,000 metre. How's he going to hold that pace for so long? He's right up over the bars as he goes across. Ollie into first place now, set the fastest time. He's come out like a rocket. What can he do? 1.5 laps down now. They'll get 6 laps to go as they come around. Ollie almost seeing Jacob already. Ollie with a 39.7. He's out like a flyer. Jacob, he's on a 44. He's into 6th place. Ollie Jordan really starting to push it. He wants to beat that time of Riley Dixon as they come around. Jacob, you can see he's really starting the tyre already. He went out hard that first 2 laps. 5 to go now for Ollie Jordan. He's almost on the back of Jacob Cork. Into the back straight. Jacob gets 5 to go. Ollie Jordan looking super strong. Jacob in the 9th position. He came out like a bullet, but he's really paying the price now. 4 laps to go for Ollie Jordan. He's halfway done. He goes around the top of Jacob Cork. Round Ollie goes, down the back straight. What can he do? He wants to maintain that number 1 position. 3 laps to go now for Ollie Jordan, 750 metres. Still setting the fastest time with a 1:35.8. He's absolutely flying, OJ. As he comes around, Jacob Cork is trying to keep up. He's struggling. It's starting to hurt. Hard to do 2,000 metres in your sprint bars. As they come around now, Ollie Jordan, 500 metres to go. Go, OJ, as he comes through. 1:55.5, still in the lead. What can he do? Can he beat Riley Dixon? There's not going to be much in it as they come through. 1.5 laps to go for Ollie Jordan. 2 laps to go now for Jacob Cork as he comes down the back straight. Ollie Jordan will get the bell this time round. It's 1 lap to go. What's he got? He's on a 2:15. He's on a flyer. This is going to be hard to beat. Ollie Jordan comes around 1 and 2. 1.5 laps to go now for Jacob Cork. 1/2 lap for OJ as he comes around. Ollie Jordan pushing it around 3 and 4. This will take him to the gold final later on today. Ollie Jordan with a cracking ride with a 2:35.2. Jacob Cork coming around now. He's only got 1/2 lap to go. He's going to push it as hard as he can. Had a hesitant start out of the gates, really tried to sprint it out, but that's paid the price later on as Jacob Cork comes around. Good effort after his fall yesterday. He'll come around in 9th place with a 2:55.7. So into the bronze final. Harry Dowling from Hamilton Wheelers and Flynn Larkins from UQ. Into the gold final, Riley Dixon from Gold Coast and OJ from Balmoral with a 2:35.2. What a time. 10 seconds faster than anyone else. That'll be hard to beat later on this afternoon. That'll be some great matchups later on. Flynn and Harry only separated by a second over 2,000 metres. Riley and Ollie Jordan, they'll be going at it as well. They'll be going for the gold and silver, guaranteed a medal. Harry and Flynn, they'll be fighting it out. Who gets the bronze? Coming up now, we get our super fast under 17 ladies for our sprint qualifying. Up first now, sprint qualifying. We're going to have Annalise Murray from Rockhampton Cycling Club. She'll set the time to beat. Good to see Seb Plant in the crowd giving Indy some support today. We're off and running. Annalise Murray from Rockhampton. 3.5 laps. Flying 200. This will set their time for their matchups later on. Fastest time will match up against the slowest time. Second fastest will go against second slowest, and so on. So definitely an advantage to set the fastest time. We saw that with Ollie Jordan yesterday, set the fastest time. He skipped through round one, got to go straight through to the quarters. Big advantage to not have to ride that extra matchup. As we come around now, Annalise Murray from Rockhampton, she'll get 2 laps to go. Looking very controlled on the bike as she comes around. She'll get about 1.5 laps to go now. Starting to wind it up down the back straight. Up nice and close to the fence. Around 3 and 4 they go. Still in the saddle, doesn't want to go too early. She'll get the bell this time around. Out of the saddle, there it is. She sits back down, sprints down the home straight, very early into the sprinters lane. Clock starts now as she goes down into out of turn 2, into the back straight. What time can she set for the first 100? It's going to be a 7.3 as she goes around 3 and 4 into the front straight, trying to push across the line with a 15.1. That'll be the time for everyone to get. A 15.19 for Annalise Murray. Grace Hunter from UQ now out on track. She'll be looking to hunt that one down. Grace Hunter now up nice and close to the fence. She's got 2 laps to go after this one. First year under 17 for Grace. She made the state team last year as a second year 15. Very new to the sport back then. She's got a year under her belt now. What can she come up with? Still does her triathlons. Very fit as she comes around. She'll get 1 lap to go. Now she starts to sprint. Out of 4, down the front straight, still up on the fence. This is going to be a great entry into the sprinters lane. Textbook entry as she sets the clock going. Down the back straight she goes. Really looking solid on the bike. She's trying to push it as hard as she can. 6.7, so sets the fastest 100 so far. Into the home straight, pushing it all the way, wobbling down the front straight with a 13.8. Good ride from Grace Hunter. You'd see how much she was pushing that, so that's a good time to set into the 13s. Up on track now from Bundaberg Cycling Club, Matilda Pratt. One of those amazing Pratt children from Bundy. Matilda now starting to wind it up. Very accomplished on road and track. Tilly as she comes around. 1.5 laps to go now as she comes into the back straight. Gets up nice and close to the fence on the back straight. What's she got in her back pocket to come through? Matilda Pratt out of 3 and 4. She'll get the bell this time around. Out of the saddle. Good start down the front straight. This is going to be another good entry into the sprinters lane. Starts the clock down the back straight. What can she do? She's pushing all the way. Matilda Pratt trying as hard as she can. 100 metres, not too bad a time. Second with a 7 flat. What has she got into the front straight as she comes through? Really pushing now, Tilly Pratt. Good time into second with a 14.2. Good ride from Matilda Pratt. That still leads Grace Hunter with the leading time with a 13.8. Next up, we've seen this young lady grow and grow from Balmoral, Bella Potts. Had a few great rides yesterday. What she got left in the bag today, I hope she had lots of rest. Looking sharp, Bella Potts. 2 laps to go. Down the back straight, nice and close to the fence. She's looking to beat Grace Hunter with a 13.8. What can she do? Out of 4, gets the bell. There it is, out of the saddle, down the front straight. Into the sprinters lane early, starts the clock now. What can she do? Down the front straight, she's looking fast down there. She'll set a first 100 metre time, which is good. A 6.3, she moves into number 1 position. Can she finish this off? She'll want to be in the 12s. She does with a 12.9. Good ride from Bella Potts. First lady to crack the 13s. Next up on track from the University of Queensland, Chloe Bowen. Good ride from Bella. It's a fast time to set. Chloe now also an accomplished triathlete. I don't know what it is about UQ. They get the triathletes coming around to do their track training. Chloe now had a good road season. Some great results out on the road. She'll come around now, lap and a half to go. She starts to wind it up down the back straight. Up around 3 and 4, getting nice and close to the fence. She'll get the bell this time through. Out of 4, out of the saddle, down the home straight. She goes. There's the bell, into the saddle now, into the sprinters lane. Gets as much right as she can from the height. Down she goes, into the back straight, trying to beat Bella Potts this time. It's on a 6.7, she's 3rd fastest at the moment, coming around 4. What she got left in the tank coming down the front straight. She'll set a time of 13.7. Just edging out her teammate, Grace Hunter. So 13.75 from Chloe Bowen. Up next, also from UQ, Indy Plant. Indy getting some good support from the sidelines and the infield. Indy tells me she's become a middle school leader at her high school. No pressure at all on this young lady. Nice and steady for her first lap and a half out. Doesn't want to burn too much juice. 2 laps to go. Nice and close to the fence. Good support from Dad down on the sideline. Barely giving her support around turn 1. Into the home straight. Now she starts to wind it up. She's done this one 1,000 times around Animears. Into 3. She'll get the bell as she comes around 4. Now she starts to wind it up. Out of the saddle, this is a big wind up from Indy Plant. There's the bell. Huge wind up. She's going to come in with a great amount of speed. Into the sprinters lane, starts the clock. Down the back straight. Really starting to push now. You can see her really trying to go. Head down Indy. 2nd fastest time with a 6.6. Into the front straight. What she got, she's going to really push it to the line to set her qualifying time with a 13.6 into 2nd spot. So Bella Potts still with the time to beat with a 12.94. Indy Plant into 2nd with a 13.6. So this is our qualifying times for the next matchups. You want to go as fast as you possibly can to give yourself the best chance to, I wouldn't say an easier ride in the first round, but you want to set yourself up. Up next, speaking of ladies who have gotten stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, April Paddy. We've been watching April for a number of years now, and she is just a machine as she's grown into the gears. Lap and a half to go now for April. She'll want to beat the time by Bella Potts of a 12.9. What can she do? She'll want to get in the 12s as well. Winds up her sprint. Down the front straight she goes. Into the first turn. Good entry into the sprint lane. Starts the clock. Down the back straight. Really pushing it. See the shoulders rocking as she comes down the front straight. She sets a time with a 6.4. Second spot just behind Bella. What can she do in her second 100? Across the line. It is a 12. No, it's a 13 flat. That's enough to move her into second position at the moment. So Bella Potts with the early sub-13 time. She's moving herself up the ladder. Next out on track, Sienna Monteith, also from Balmoral. So Bella Potts, the only rider to crack 13 seconds so far. Did she answer? Did you tell him? Sienna Monteith almost rubbing her shoulder on that fence as she comes down the front straight. She's getting good support from Bear up on the sidelines as well. Round she comes, Sienna Monteith down the back straight, looks steady on her bike, into 3. She'll get the bell this time around. Starts to wind it up now, out of the saddle, there's the bell, still out of the saddle, right up on the fence. This is going to be a great entry. Into the sprinters lane she goes, starts the clock. What has she got for her first 100 as she comes down the back straight? Really down low now. It's a 6.5 into third place. So she's behind Bella and April as she comes around. What's she got for the second 100? A 13.1, so that'll move her into third position. Bella Potts with a phenomenal ride so far, sub-13. But here we see the gun from the Gold Coast, Maddie Smith. Back to terrorise velodromes all over the world. What's Maddie got up her sleeve to go today? So as we stand, Bella Potts with a 12.9. April Paddy with a 13 flat, Sienna Monteith with a 13.1. What can Maddie do now? She'll want to go sub-13 if she can. Down the back straight now, lap and a half to go. Looks mean on that bike. Super steady as she goes around 3 and 4. Maddie Smith, she'll get the bell. Out of the saddle. This is what we're used to seeing from Maddie Smith. Still out of the saddle, pushing it. Good entry into the sprint lane. Time starts down the back straight. She'll want to set a good 100 time as she comes through. What's she got? She's got a 6.4 into second position. She's behind Bella Potts. What's she got for her last 100? Rocking and rolling. Sets a 13.1 to go into fourth. So good first 100, just died off a little bit in that second. Our final qualifying time, that's going to be set by Emily Watch from the Viking Cycling Club in the ACT. So Bella Potts still with the only time under 13 seconds. As Emily comes around now, she'll get 2 laps to go. Looks solid on the bike. What can she do here? She's trying to beat Bella Potts, April Paddy, Sienna Monteith, Maddie Smith. Starting to wind up now in the back straight, up nice and close to the gates. She'll get the bell this time round, Emily Watch. Winds it up nice and early into the entry of 4, still winding it up as she comes down the straight. Into the sprinters lane she goes, starts the clock, into the home back straight she goes, looks fast. This is going to be a quick time. 6 flat for her first 100. She's looking to go for a 12-second ride. Down the front straight she comes. 12.2 for Emily Watch. Great ride. That'll see Emily qualify fastest with Bella Potts into second. April Paddy into third. Good ride there from the young ladies. And no rest for the wicked. We move straight into the under-17 men's. Alex Choi out on track now. He's going to set the time to beat. Two laps to go now for Alex. Alex tells me he wants to be a dentist when he grows up. Alex will get the bell this time around. He starts to wind it up around 3 and 4. He's out of the saddle now, nice and early. There's the bell. Gets it, still out of the saddle. Settles down now, into his seat. Into the sprinters lane, starts the clock, good entry into the sprinters lane. Down the back straight he goes, this will be a good time. It's a 6.3, this will be the time to beat for everyone as he comes down down the front straight. What's his time? It's a 13.1 for Alex Choi. That'll be the time all the men will want to beat. Lockie Chamberlain, the young gun from Hamilton Wheelers, now out on track. He'll be looking to hunt down that time of the 13.1 from Alex Choi. Lockie Chamberlain goes to school at St. Pat's in Shorncliffe, so they've been on holidays for about 4 weeks already. Down he comes, 2 laps to go. Round 1 and 2. Looks steady, Lockie. Pretty new to track cycling. Been out with him out at Caboolture Velodrome dodging potholes. He's a fast young man when he gets his mind into it. He'll come round, get the bell lap now. Out of the saddle he goes. Lockie, we've seen him go. Into the home straight, into the sprinters lane. What's he got? Starts the clock now. Into the back straight. Good speed from Lockie as he goes through. What's he got for his first 100? It's a 6.6. He's really going to have to push it now if he wants to beat Alex Choi. Into the front straight he goes. Lockie Chamberlain with a 13.5. That'll set his time for his matchups later on in the day. Out on track now, we've seen this young man grow up rapidly. Bodhi Dusha from Balmoral Cycling Club. Love watching Bodhi ride in eliminations. He's got super smart tactical nous when he's out on the track. Let's see what he can do in his sprints. Good steady pace from Bodhi. You don't want to wear yourself out on that first 2 laps. You're going to be as fast as possible when you hit that start line. Round he goes around the top. Now he's starting to build up his pace down the back straight. Rubbing the fence down the back straight. Really starting to build it up now, Bodhi Dusha. Out of 3, into 4. He'll get the bell this time around. Still in the saddle. Now he's out of the saddle. Gets the bell. Down the front straight. On the fence. Good entry down into the sprinters lane. Starts the clock. What's he got in the legs, Bodhi Dusha, as he comes down the back straight? Can he set the fastest time? It's a 6.4, second place at the moment. What can he do? He really wants to get over the top of Alex Choi. What time's he got? He's got a 13.2. 0.1 of a second behind Alex Choi. All the boys in the 13s at the moment. Up next, Eli Taylor from Hamilton Wheelers. He was crook yesterday, he didn't get to ride. He says he's still not feeling great today, but he wants to get out and give it a crack. Let's see what Eli's got in the legs. He would have loved to do the IP yesterday. He loves doing his pursuits on the road or his time trials. Let's see what he's got in his sprint today. Eli Taylor, round 1 and 2. Looks good on the bike. What can he do? One and a half laps to go now. 3 into 4. He'll get the bell lap as he comes down the front straight. Starts to speed up now. What's he got? Out of the saddle. He's going to hit the sprint button. There he goes. There's the bell. Good sprint down the front straight. Into the sprinter's lane. Starts the clock. What can he do for his first 100? Down the back straight he goes. Really starting to push it now. He's got a 6.3 into the first place at the moment. What can he do now? He wants to do a 12-second ride. Can he do it? He does with a 12.7. Good ride from Eli Taylor to set the new fastest time so far with a 12.71. First year under 17, as is this young man out on the track, Oscar Schoff. What can Oscar do? Eli Taylor setting the new fastest time with a 12.7. Oscar Schoff now, he'll want to go sub 13 as well. Big list of men in this sprint qualifying. 15 riders all up. I think the fastest rider, they'll probably get a free pass through the first round. Now Oscar starting to wind it up down the back straight. Lap and a half to go. Onto the fence. Rock solid in his bars. What can he do? He wants to beat Eli. Can he do it? Out of the saddle early. Down the front straight. Cross the start finish line. Into the sprinter's lane now. Starts the clock. What can he do for his first 100? Really wants to get in front of Eli Taylor. The faster you go, the better. He does with a 6 flat in the first 100. He wants to go as close to 12 as he can. Down the front straight. He gets a 12 flat to set our new fastest time. Good time from Oscar Schoff. Next out on track, Angus Withington from Canberra. Good time from Oscar there, 12 flat. The boy's going to have to push into the 11s to try and beat that time. Can Angus Withington be the first one to do that? Two laps to go for Angus as he comes around. He looks solid on the bike. Round he goes, 1 and 2. Made the trip from Canberra. Wants to make it count as he goes down the back straight. Now he starts to wind it up a little bit. What's he got? He needs to beat a 12 flat from Oscar Schoff. Angus up out of the saddle, down into the front straight he goes. Looks strong on the bike. Big sprint down the front straight. Settles in, starts the clock. What can he do for his first 100? He wants to go less than 6 if he can. He does. It's a 5.7 as he comes through. 5.698 down the front straight. First sub 12. It is with an 11.5. Now we're starting to see the times tumble. Good ride from Angus Withington. Next out on track, a fine young gentleman from Bundaberg, Liam Vaughan. What can he do? He's going to have to set a cracking time with an 11.5 just set by Angus. Liam coming around now, 2 laps to go. Up against the fence, out of 2. Rubs the fence going down the back straight. Starts to really wind it up now. Lap and a half to go. Into 3, into 4. He'll get the bell. He's out of the saddle as he comes down the front straight. Really starting to push it now. Liam Vaughan from Bundaberg. Into the sprinter's lane, starts the clock. What can he do? He's really flying along the back straight, pushing. You can see how much he's egging that bike on. He goes to 6.2. What can he get in his second 100? He wants to try and get sub 12. He won't. It's a 12.5. Not a bad time there from Liam Vaughan. In good company there with Eli Taylor and Oscar Schoff in the 12s. Next up, Liam's teammate, Will Holzberger from Bundaberg. Bundaberg, such good representation at any cycling event you go to. They held their Bundaberg Cycling Spectacular last weekend. If you didn't get a chance to go to it this year or previous years, mark it in your calendar for 2024. It's an outstanding carnival up there. 2 laps to go now for Will Holzberger. So he comes down the back straight. Out of the saddle he goes, into the home straight. He'll get the bell. There it is. Still out of the saddle. Will Holzberger looks super strong. Down he goes, locks it all in. Slips out of the sprinter's lane a little bit. What can he bring back now? He'll want to get in the 12s or 11s. He's a 6-1, so he's on track for a 12-2. He'll want to go faster than that, Will Holzberger. He gets a 12-4. So a few of the boys in the 12s. Angus Withington from Canberra, the first one and only one to go into the 11s with an 11-5. Next up, another fine young man from Bundy. That's Max Clancy. What can he do now? Some big names to follow. Will Emilius, Sam Hilditch, Nate Argent, Lockie Walters, Seb Topping and Chris Mullins, all to come. Max winding it up now. 2 laps to go. Winds up down the back straight. Into 3. He'll get the bell this time around. What can he do? He'll want to beat the time of his teammates. What can Max Clancy do? Out of the saddle. Looks good. Down the front straight. Looks like he's going to get a late entry. Good entry into the sprinter's lane and starts the clock. That's how you do a sprint lane entry. Then he goes the back straight. Good time with a 6-1. What can he do for his final 100? He wants to go quick. Is he in the 12s? He is with a 12-4. So Will Holzberger and Max Clancy both with a 12-4. Liam Vaughan with a 12-5. Good times from Bundy. Next out on track, Will Emilius from Balmoral Cycling Club. First year under 17. We've seen him go through the ranks super fast in 15s. What can he do now? He's in the 17s. Super focused on the bike, Will. Hard to read as he goes past. He doesn't give much away. Had a great weekend up at the Cairns Cup last month. What can he do now? As he comes around 3 and 4, he'll get the bell this time around. Really winding up. He's out of the saddle. Big wind up out of 3 into 4. Still out of the saddle. Into the sprinter's lane now. Starts the clock. Another great entry. Here he goes. He'll want to go 11s if he can. Down the back straight. Super fast with a 5-9. What can he do now? Into the front straight. Can he get into the 11s? He, 12 flat. Slowing just a little bit on his second 100. Good ride there from Willow. 0.01 of a second off Oscar Schoff. Super time from Will and Oscar. Okay, we did have Sam Hilditch on the program. It looks like he's not here. We've got Nate Argent out on the track. Nate, also a very accomplished BMX rider. We've seen him out at Pine Rivers and out here at Sleeman's a few times. What can he do on his track bike? We know he's fast from what we saw yesterday. What can he do for 200 metres? About half the length of the BMX track with a whole lot less jumps. He'll come around now. He'll get the bell this time around. He's out of the saddle already. What can he do? Pushing it down the front straight, Nate Argent. Really good down the front straight. Into the sprinters lane. Starts the clock. What can you do? You can see how fast he's pushing down that front back straight. Good time. 5.7 into second spot. What can you do? Can he keep it up for the final 100? Across the line. He does. He goes at 11.6. Great time from Nate Argent. Next out on track, Lockie Walters. He had a good gold medal ride yesterday. Heart attack material against Sam Hilditch in the IP. Pulled back a second in that final lap. What can he do now over 200 metres? Nate Argent, Angus Withington setting some super fast times. The only boys in the 11s. What has Lockie got in the tank now? Are the legs tired from yesterday? Lockie really starting to wind up, getting some good support from the infield, Lockie, as he comes around 3 and 4, up out of the saddle, down the front straight. What's he got? Looks strong. Early entry into the sprinters lane, starts the clock, round he goes, looks fast. Got to set a good 100 time as he goes through. It is a 5.7 into second spot at the moment. What can he do? He's going to be in the 11s as well. He sets an 11.4 to set the fastest time. Incredible second 100 from Lockie Walters. Great ride. 11.48. Fastest ride so far. Not bad for a pursuiter. 2 more men to come out. They'll want to try and top that time. Seb Topping from Balmoral and Chris Mullins from UQ. Super quick time from Lockie Walters. That second 100 was faster than his first. Seb Topping now, two laps to go. Down the back straight. What's he got? Up right high against the fence as he comes around 3 into 4. He'll get the bell this time around. He's out of the saddle already. Moving along the fence. There's the bell. Still out of the saddle. Really good. Entry into the sprinters lane. Starts the clock. Round he goes. He looks quick as well as he goes down the back straight. What can he do for his first 100? He gets a 6 flat. He'll need to go faster than that. This is a 12-second ride. He needs to go 11s. What's he got? He goes with a 12.38. That time set by Lockie Walters and Nate Argent looking super impressive. Angus Withington as well. Last rider out on track. Hollywood Gonzalez from UQ. Around the track, Chris Mullins looking super steady on his bike. He's done this before. He's got a quick snap. Chris Mullins, he can go from 0 to 60 pretty quick. What's he got here today? He wants to beat Lockie Walters with an 11.48. So Chris going to have to go low 11s or better. Right up on the fence. Good support for Mullo as he comes around now. Rock solid on the fence. He wants to set the fastest time. What can he do? Looking to beat Lockie Walters, 11.48. Out of 3, already up out of the saddle. Now he starts the boogie. Down the front straight, look at him go. He has got the mean machine face on. Starts the clock. What's he got left in the tank? Down the back straight. Look at the legs go. What can he do? He sets a 5.7. Into the front straight now. Can he finish it off? He still wants to go 11s. He can with an 11.7. Good company in that 11-second mark. Angus Withington with an 11.55. Nate Argent with an 11.63. Lockie Walters on an 11.48. And Chris Mullins with an 11.76. Good riding from the young men. And no rest for the wicked. The junior women's 17s, they'll come straight out to do their first sprint matchup. Winners will go through the quarterfinals. The loser will go to the repechage. Exciting qualifying for our junior men and women for the under-17s. Sprint qualifying. We'll have some good matchups here today for sure. Very close times in both categories. Emily Watch setting the fastest time for the women. Lockie Walters setting the fastest time for the men. All right, getting set now for our first matchup for the under-17 ladies. Okay, first up, it looks like that'll be April Paddy from Balmoral. She'll be up against Annalise Murray from Rockhampton. Winner will go straight through to the quarters. The loser will go through to the repechage. Annalise Murray from Rockhampton, she'll lead this one out. April Paddy, stronger and stronger in all of their cycling events. She'll look to dominate this one, really set the tone for later on in the quarterfinals. Off they go, Annalise to lead it out. April Paddy straight onto her wheel. Annalise going nice and high straight away. April looking on from the stayers line. Big thanks to Matt Gilfett for taking photos today. We appreciate that. Round they come, 3 and 4. April still glued to Annalise's wheel. They'll come round, they'll get 2 laps to go. Nothing's changed. April staring at the back wheel of Annalise. Annalise hasn't looked around yet. Has a little glimpse there to see if there's anything going on. Now she looks around again. Sees April glued to the wheel. 1.5 laps to go. Who's going to blink first? Into 3 and 4 they go. April does a dive, catches Annalise snoozing, gets instantly 5 bike lengths. Now it's out to 6 or 7. April taking the initiative. Already got 20 metres over the top. She goes off the gas a little bit. Annalise really trying to catch up. April slows down. She's got this one in the bag. April Paddy to move to the quarterfinals. Annalise will move into the repechage. Good smart ride there from April. She saw the opening, took the dive, caught Annalise napping a little bit, instantly got 6 or 7 bike lengths. There was nothing Annalise could do to get back on her wheel. April just getting stronger and stronger as those gears come. Next out on track, Sienna Monteith up against the legend from Bundaberg, Matilda Pratt. Sienna to lead this one out, Matilda onto her wheel. Sienna going to set the tempo for this one. Pretty relaxed at this stage. Sienna going up to the stayers line. Matilda, she's going to stay in the sprinters lane. Has a look around. She's happy. She moves up a little bit towards Sienna. 2.5 laps to go as they roll around 3 and 4. Sienna looking very comfortable up high. Matilda now on the stayers line. Sienna comes down to join her onto the back wheel. Tilly into the sprinters lane, looks around, now moves back up, back into the sprinters lane, looks comfortable down there. Sienna's going to try and get as much height as she can to launch an attack onto Tilly Pratt. She does it now from the top. Lap and a half to go. Can Matilda catch up to that? Sienna breezes past her on the back straight into 3. Down into the front straight now. They'll get the bell this time around. There's about 5 bike lengths. Sienna Monteith, she's going to have to push for another 250 metres. Looks around. Matilda's still there. Into the back straight. Matilda Pratt really starting to catch up now. There's only a bike length in it. What can she do? Sienna's had to turn it back on. As Matilda Pratt, she comes up. Sienna Monteith only just beating out Matilda Pratt. Good comeback from Matilda Pratt. She really bridged that gap. Sienna having to turn it way back on to make sure she got across the line first. Next out on track from Gold Coast, Maddie Smith. From UQ, Grace Hunter. Maddie Smith, she'll lead this one out. It's so good to see Maddie back on the track. She'll be taking on Grace Hunter. Grace also getting stronger and stronger as she moves into under 17s. Winner will go straight through to the quarters. The loser will go through to the repechage. Maddie leading this one out. She stayed nice and low, keeping an eye on Grace up the top. Now Maddie moving up. Grace looks like she wants to go into the front. What have we got in the bank here? Maddie moving Grace up. Round they come now. The speed pretty high on this one. 2 laps to go. Shoulder to shoulder they go into turn 1 and 2. This will be a good matchup as they come around. There's a lap and a half to go. Who's going to blink first? Maddie leaving no room for Grace to make any surprise attacks. Now they come around 3 and 4. Maddie got this one under control. No gap for Grace. Maddie now drops down. Grace straight onto her wheel. This could be good for Grace as she gets the slipstream going into 1 and 2. She'll have to make a move down the back straight. She's on Maddie's wheel. Down the back straight they go. Can she pass? No, Maddie keeping up her speed. Down through 3 and 4. Grace Hunter will have to make a move coming out of 4 as they come down the front straight. Maddie Smith, sorry. Maddie Taylor racing next weekend, of course. Maddie Smith with a good win over Grace Hunter. That must be that muscle memory they talk about. All right, next up on track, the two young ladies from UQ, Chloe Bowen, she'll lead out Indy Plant. Chloe having to lead this one out. Off they roll. Both staying nice and high. Can't go too slow around the bends here at Animere's Velodrome where you slide straight down. It's got to keep some pace up. Indy Plant moving towards the fence. Chloe Bowen keeping an eye on her as they roll around 3 and 4. Indy leaving about a bike or two in between. She wants room to move. When she decides to go, she's going to go. Chloe starting to look around. Indy starting to close that gap now. Now she moves underneath Chloe. That's where she wants to be. Chloe's decided she's going to go early. Indy pushes her up. Indy's going to go straight down the sprinters lane. This is a lap and a half sprint now. It's going to be a race for 250 metres. What's Indy got in the bag? Chloe right on her wheel. She'll sit there for 1 and 2. She'll make a move around into the back straight. What can she do? She'll have to come around the outside. Chloe Bowen now trying to move around the outside. Indy maintaining her spot in the sprinters lane. Chloe now coming around the outside. 3 and 4 down the front straight. Chloe Bowen will take it over the line over Indy Plant. Not much in that. Good move by Chloe along the back straight and around 3 and 4 to come over the top. Won it by about half a wheel. So Chloe, she'll go through the quarters. Indy will go through to the repechage. On to our men now. Out on track, Lockie Chamberlain. Pretty new to track cycling, a great young man from Hamilton Wheelers. He'll be up against Nate Argent. Oop, Nate just needing to reset on the line. Now we've got Nate into the hands of the starters. Lockie looking steady. Bit of an adjustment for Nate to go from BMX to track cycling. Nate to lead this one out. Lockie will jump onto his wheel. Now it becomes about tactics. You got to be fast, but you got to be smart. Lockie Chamberlain looking to dig into his bag of tricks. What can he do to outsmart Nate Argent for their matchup? Nate hasn't looked forward the whole time. Slow pace down the back straight. Nate really starting to slow it down now as he looks left, looks right. Lockie Chamberlain tailgating Nate Argent, making him guess where he's going to go next. Down the front straight. Slow start to this one. Nate Argent really trying to control the tempo. Lockie throws a dummy. Made it look like he was going to go. Wasn't doing it. Now they start to speed up a little bit. He's forcing Nate Argent to go faster. Wants to try and wear him out. Nate's got a really fast speed, but has he got it for 3 laps? What can Lockie Chamberlain do now? Does he want to get the early gap? Nate Argent wants to leave it to the last minute. He wants to use his sprint prowess. Round they come, out of 3 into 4. They'll get the bell as they come round. Still super slow. This is playing into Nate Argent's hands. There he goes. He's out of the saddle. Gets a bike length or 2 straight away. He waited for the bell. Lockie Chamberlain now 4 behind. Nate Argent played that perfectly. He wanted the late sprint. He got it. Nothing Lockie Chamberlain can do. Nate Argent could have turned the gas off. He burned some cookies. He didn't have to. Nate Argent with a good win over Lockie Chamberlain. So Nate to go through to the quarterfinal. Lockie will go through to the 9 to 15 matchups. Up next, Bodie Dusha. He'll be up against Chris Mullins. Jeff Dusha trying to get the best view of the start he can get. Pretty good spot down there as Bodie comes up to the line. Chris Mullins now coming up. Bodie's going to lead this one out. Chris coming up nice and close to the fence. Good photos from Matt Gilfeder and Georgia Dowling. Look forward to seeing those later. Bodie trying to force Chris into the lead from the start line. Doesn't get it. Chris settles into the second wheel. Down on the duck board. Two good tacticians out on the track. Bodie goes up high. There's the whistle. Too slow for the first lap. They've been called back. No track standing on the first lap. So we'll start this one again. Bodie back into the lead-out position. Bodie really trying to give that position up to Chris Mullins. Chris forcing Bodie into an error. Off we go again. Bodie again trying to force Chris to go to the front from the start. Chris now sitting back 4 or 5 bike lengths. He's going to go over the top of Bodie as they go down the back straight. Jody looks around, sees him up high. He's going to go up and join him. Now Chris ducks down. He's going to try and keep Bodie guessing. Now he looks left, sees Mullo there. What can he do? Looks right. Now he's over there. Chris right up against the fence. He's happy to go into the lead now. Now he ducks down. He's going to keep Bodie guessing now. What's Mullo got in the bag with 2 laps to go? Round 1 and 2. Bodie looks happy to be in that second wheel. Mullo lining this up. He's going to try and do a flying 2. Who's going to blink first as they come around 3 and 4? They'll get the bell this time around. Mullo with that super snap as he comes out of 4 down the front straight. He's got 2 bike lengths, still out of the saddle, settles into the swing of things. Around 3 and 4, still in the sprinters lane. Bodie can't get in his slipstream. Chris looks around. He's opened the gap. It's about 3 bike lengths now. Mullo off the gas. He's got that one done, run and won. Mullo, he'll go through to the quarterfinals. Bodie will go for the 9 to 15. Chris with an amazing snap of speed. Nothing Bodie could do about that one. He tried, but he just could not get onto the wheel of Mullins. Next out on track, Oscar Schoff from Fraser Coast. He'll be up against Alex Choi. Alex being held by his brother Tom. Tom will see in action next weekend here at Anamiers Velodrome. Off they go. Oscar will lead this one out. Alex to jump onto his wheel. Down they come onto the duckboard. Oscar, slow pace for this one. They'll have learned from the last one. You can't go too slow or track stand on the first lap. Oscar got this one under control so far. Alex, half a bike wheel behind. Now he slides up underneath Oscar. He wants to control the race from there. Oscar moves slightly in front. Alex back up onto his back wheel now. What can he do? Alex controlling the race. He pushes Oscar up high. Good tactics from Alex Choi. Oscar very fast. Big difference between their qualifying times. Oscar slows down, gives himself room. Wants to be able to jump if he needs to. Alex down low. Oscar moves up high. Both wanting to use the height of the banking as they come round. Now Oscar out of the saddle. Alex trying to move as well. Down the front straight. Alex slides by. Down into the sprinters lane as they come round 1 and 2. Oscar with about a bike length now. Alex really trying to push to catch up. Can't do it. Oscar extends his lead. It's 3 or 4 now as he comes into the main straight. He turns it off. Oscar Schoff, he'll go through to the quarters. Alex Choi through to the 9 to 15 matchups. Up next, two fine young men, Eli Taylor and Will Amelius. Will's going to lead this one out. Tough matchup between these two young men. The winner will go through to the quarters. The loser through to the 9 to 15 matchups. Will to lead this one out. He's going to set a pace straight away. Will moving up high on the back straight. Gets Eli to follow. Now he's going to go low. He's going to keep Eli guessing about what tactic he's going to use. Back up to the top now for Will. Eli's never too far from his back wheel as they come down the front straight now. Will starting to weave. What can he make Eli do? He's going to try and force him into an error. There goes Eli. He's going to try and do it from a lap and a half out. Will Emilias straight onto his wheel down the back straight. Will not bad at getting around people from the rear position. Round they come. Will really settled now. He looks comfortable. Eli really having to start to push as Will Emilias comes around the outside into the back straight back into the sprinters lane. Eli sits up. Will Emilias hasn't worked it out yet. Now he sits up. Will go through to the quarters. Eli Taylor. Good effort from Eli. He's still feeling crook, so hard to be out there on the bike. We applaud that. Now he just needs some rest. We'll see what else we've got from him tomorrow. Good win from Will. Next out on track, that looks like it might be Seb Topping and Liam Vaughan. Liam Vaughan to lead this one out. He's wearing that beautiful Monton jersey from the South East Queensland Road Tour earlier in the year. All right, Liam Vaughan leading this one out. All right, Liam Vaughan, he's got Seb Topping up against the fence. 2.5 laps to go. Liam got this one under control so far. Shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip as they come around 3 and 4. Liam trying not to get surprised by Seb. He's giving him no room to move as they come down the front straight with 2 laps to go. This could be a coffee ride out to Sandgate this morning. But it's a Junior State Track Championships at Annamere's Velodrome. Liam Vaughan still keeping Seb up high. Lap and a half to go as they come down the back straight. It's going to be hard for Seb to launch an attack from there. There's nowhere to go. He's going to have to go beside Liam as they come around. What have they got? Round 3 and 4. Who's going to blink first? There's Seb, he goes. Liam goes down into the sprinters lane. Seb just got that bit of extra power, that extra kick to get up and going. He's still out of the saddle. Opens up 2 bike lengths. Liam coming back now on the back straight. He closes the gap a tiny bit, but Seb Topping goes on with it. Seb Topping looks around, off the gas. Seb Topping, he'll go through to the quarters. Liam will go to the 9 to 15. Just say you're racing in here. Say Regine and Joe, I race at 10 o'clock. Yep. All right, next up on track, the boys from Bundaberg. That'll be Will Holzberger and Max Clancy. Will in the number 30, Max in the 29. Will going to lead this off. They're both riding the same bike, same kit, same coloured helmet. Will in the more aero helmet. So they ride down the back straight now. Max, he pushes Will down the track. He wants to keep it low. Max trying to go up high. Will trying to go up high. Will now getting Max to move up. They're shoulder to shoulder down the front straight. This could be a practice session down at the Bundaberg Velodrome as they ride around. No one wanting to give up their spot. Will Holzberger now moves Max up. Max starting to back off a little bit as they come around, lap and a half to go. Max gets the drop on Will Holzberger into the front straight. What are they going to do? No one's going to sprint. Lap to go. Will, prime position now. Max Clancy. Max off the front, opens the sprint. Will Holzberger, he's going to have to open the gas. Max Clancy, he's got it in the lead at the moment. He's got about a bike length. What can he do? It might be Max Clancy will hold on to this one. It is Max Clancy. Smart move to hold off Will Holzberger. Good move there from Max Clancy. That'll finish up our sprint round number 1. Nate Argent, Chris Mullins, Oscar Schoff, Will Emilias, Seb Topping and Max Clancy through to the quarters. Up next, our repechage. That'll be Indy Plant up against Annalise. Indy will be looking for some redemption here to get through to the quarters. So even though this is a repechage, this is where your qualifying time really comes to pay dividends. Indy setting the fastest time of those sent to the repechage. So she'll go into the final with only 2 of them. The next repechage will be 3 riders. So the fastest time you can set early on, it gives you advantages later on in the day. Indy to lead this one out. She'll have Annalise on her tail. Annalise is going to go up high. Indy goes straight for the sprinters lane. Totally different tactics from the young ladies here. Annalise building her speed around the top. She sees Indy down the bottom. Indy now moves up to the top. Staying just around near that stayers line, Indy moves Annalise up closer to the fence. Doesn't want to give her a height advantage to get that snap sprint. Into the home straight they come. Indy got Annalise right on her hip. Nothing between the 2 girls there. You wouldn't even fit a slice of paper through there. Indy holding her up nice and high. Now she starts the sprint, Indy Plan. Down the back straight, a lap and a half to go. She's going to go a 375 metre sprint. Still out of the saddle. Annalise not far behind. It's only half a bike length as they come into the home straight. There's the bell. Indy opens it up to about a bike length now. As they go round 1 and 2, opens up a little bit more. It's 2 bike lengths as they come down the back straight. Annalise trying to get onto Indy's wheel. Can't do it as they come round 3 and 4. Indy Plant comes into the home straight, turns it off. Indy Plant will go through to the quarters. Annalise will go through to the 9th to 10th place. Good strong ride there from Indy Plant. Hey. Next up, from Bundaberg, we'll have Matilda Pratt. She'll be up against Grace Hunter from UQ. All right, Grace Hunter from UQ. She'll lead out Tilly Pratt from Bundaberg. This will be a good matchup. The winner of this will go through to the quarterfinal. Last chance. Tilly, she'll go onto the back wheel. Grace Hunter to lead this one out. Lots more action today between the 15s and 17s. Tomorrow, we'll see the track rats come out, the under 9s, 11s and 13s. See what they can do. They'll have 4 races each. Grace Hunter got this one under control, got Tilly Pratt right on her hip. As she moves Tilly up, Grace got it under control. Matilda Pratt now, she's wanting to up the pace. Grace having to keep an eye on Matilda Pratt. She starts to go. What's Grace Hunter got? She jumps into Matilda Pratt's wheels. They come around 3 and 4. Matilda now into the sprinters lane. It's still a lap to go, 250. Matilda Pratt opens up a gap of about a bike length. What can Grace Hunter do? She's got the elbows out. She closes the gap down into the back straight. Matilda Pratt, can she hold her off? Grace Hunter now starting to make a move around the outside. She'll need to really move. Grace Hunter now. Matilda Pratt out of the sprinters lane. Matilda Pratt will hold off. Grace Hunter just. Great start from Matilda Pratt. She forced Grace into chasing. All right, into our under-17 sprint quarterfinals. Just had word from Bear Liang. He's going to conduct some interviews down on the infield before presentation, so it'd be great to hear a rider's perspective coming from Bear. Look out for him. He's got prizes to give out as well if you go and say hello. So as we move into our quarterfinals, this will be best of three. The winners will go through to the semi, the losers through to the 5th to 8th place finals. All right, first up for our semi-final. This will be Max Clancy. He's only just come off his repechage, so he'll be feeling it. Not much left in the legs for Max. He'll be up against our fastest qualifier, Lockie Walters from Hamilton Wheelers. Max, not a lot of time to recover. He's just beaten Will Holzberger 2 minutes ago. Now he's got to come up against the fastest qualifier, Lockie Walters. Round they come into 1 and 2. Lockie looking super comfortable. He's had a bit of a rest since his qualifying. In fact, as the fastest qualifier, he didn't have to go through round 1, so he's had a good rest. He's got the freshest legs of anybody out there as he forces his move underneath Max Clancy. Max back into the lead. Lockie just backing off a little bit, make sure there was no contact. Into the front straight now. Max got his head on a swivel. What's Lockie going to do as they go 2 laps? Now Lockie makes the move stick. He gets into the sprinters lane, forces Max Clancy up high. Now Lockie's got control of the race. He's got Max exactly where he wants him to be. It's going to leave him no quarter to make any moves. Smart riding from Lockie Walters. Max trying to make his own room now. He dives back into the sprinters lane. This is the same tactic he used on Will Holzberger. He got caught napping there by Lockie Walters. He looked ahead. Lockie took the chance. He jumped. Automatically gets 3-4 bike lengths. Max Clancy is going to have to go like the clappers down the back. Lockie Walters, though, he's in front. He's not going to relieve this. Down the front straight, Lockie Walters will take a 1-up lead against Max Clancy. Smart riding from both riders. Max trying to force Lockie into a position he didn't want to be in. Lockie just catching Max, napping a little bit. It's a hard thing. You get tired after you've been through the repechage. Next up will be Seb Topping and Angus Withington. Best of 3 matchups now. All right, Seb Topping, he'll lead this one out. Angus Withington set a great time. He was the first one to go sub 12 in qualifying. So Angus, he also missed out or didn't have to go through round one. Seb topping to lead this one out. Good to see Angus up from the ACT. We saw him down at AJTS a couple of weekends ago at Dunkgrave Velodrome in Sydney. What can he do here at Anime's Velodrome in Brisbane? Seb forcing Angus through to the front. Angus not looking too perplexed about that as he moves on. Round they come, 3 and 4. Angus got an eye on Seb, moves him up the track. Just increases the pace a little bit now. Seb topping, having to keep up with him. Angus keeping a real close eye on what Seb's doing. Looks left, looks right, Angus, as they come around 1 and 2. Angus looks very happy with where he's got Seb at the moment as they come down the back straight. Lap and a half to go. Seb throws a dummy. Angus doesn't react. What can they do now? Angus got Seb on his tail. Keeps looking. Seb starting to wind it up. Angus, he's in the prime position. Now he starts to move into 1 and 2. What can they do? Seb having to get onto his tail. Tries to do that down the back straight. Seb topping, having to go a long way around as they go into 3 and 4. Both men out of the sprinters lane. Into the home straight they go. Angus Withington first across the line. Angus Withington taking a one up lead in that one. Next out on track, Will Elias. He'll be up against Nate Argent. Both these men have got a really quick turn of pace. Both came from BMX. Will making the move from Cairns down to Brisbane last year sometime. Nate Argent. What can the two boys do out here on the track now? If anyone's interested, Julie Jordan's got a buffet lunch going on the home straight up at the tables. Will Elias will lead this one out. Nate Argent onto his back wheel. Nate going up high. Will keeping an eye on him. Moving left to right, Nate Argent. Forces Will up to the top of the track. Nate now got that under control. He's got under Will. That's where he wanted to be as they come around 3 and 4. Will upping the tempo. Nate keeping him on his shoulder as they go into 1 and 2. They're hip to hip. Nate Argent, Will Elias, both from Balmoral. As they come down the back straight, what can we do? Who's going to be the first to blink? Will trying to slow it down. Now he starts to go. Nate Argent goes with him. Into the front straight they go. Both got a good sprint. They're still hip to hip as they go into 1 and 2. Who can hold this off? Nate Argent just getting over the top underneath. Will really having the push now. Nate Argent got this one under control. Will Elias, he sits up. Nate Argent too strong. Nate will go 1 up in that matchup. They were hip to hip for about 3/4 of a lap. Nothing Will could do to get around Nate Argent. Good ride from the boys. Next up, Chris Mullins. He'll be up against Oscar Schoff. More sprints coming up. Just before we have a break, we're going to have the finals of our individual pursuits for the 15s. Oscar Schoff to lead out Chris Mullins on this one. Best of 3. Always good to get the first win under the belt and go into the second matchup full of confidence. After this, we'll have our junior ladies, the 17s. They'll just start their quarterfinals for their sprint matchups. Oscar keeping the speed low on this one. What can he do with Chris Mullins? Mullins got a great snap and get the speed up very quickly. Oscar Schoff, fast young man, great over longer distances. Chris slides in underneath now. Trying to get Oscar onto his hip. Oscar slows down. He wants to be behind. Doesn't want to let Mullins force him up. Now Oscar starting to really pump it up. They'll come around with a lap to go. What can they do? Oscar trying to use the speed from the height of the velodrome. Chris Mullins now looks around, shoulder to shoulder as they come around 1 and 2. Mullo opens it up. Oscar having to come the long way around the outside, down the back straight as they move into 3 and 4. Mullins looks around. He's got this one under control. He doesn't want to let it go too soon. Oscar leads it all the way to the line. Moves all the way to the line. Chris Mullins holds him off by about half a bike length. Chris only putting in as much as he absolutely had to. So taking a lead, Lockie Walters, Angus, Nate and Chris, they'll all go 1 up in that best of 3 matchup. They'll get to rest for about 2.5 minutes before they're back out on track again. Out on track now, our number 1 qualifier, Emily Watch from the ACT. She'll be up against Matilda Pratt from Bundaberg. Matilda Pratt to lead this one out. Emily super strong in the qualifying, seeing the fastest time. Now it'll come down to tactics. Tilly having to come the hard way through the repechages and qualifying rounds. What's she going to do here? Locks herself into position. Likes to keep it down low, Matilda Pratt. Coming down the back straight, Emily Watch straight onto her back wheel. Fast first lap. Matilda really going to have to use tactics now to overcome Emily Watch as they come through. Into the back straight, lap and a half to go. Matilda just building up the speed slowly but surely as they go through. Emily glued to her back wheel. Now snaps in underneath as they come around the front straight. Emily Watch opens a gap of about 2 bike lengths straight away. Matilda Pratt, tired legs after going through the repechage and the qualifying rounds. Emily switches off as they go around 3 and 4. Keeps an eye on Tilly Pratt. Makes sure she's not coming back. Slides across the line for a first win for Emily. Next out on track for their first quarterfinal matchup, Bella Potts, the first lady to go into the 12s. She'll be up against Indy Plant. Indy also having to come the long way through the qualifying rounds, qualifying and repechage. So she'll be up against Bella Potts, who's had a little bit of a rest now. All right, here we go. Bella Potts to lead this one out. Indy Plant to follow. Indy pushed off by UQ coach Jerry O'Connell. Fast pace set by Bella. She's going to try and get this one done and won as quickly as possible. Round they come, 3 and 4. Bella just has a look around. Doesn't want to get surprised by Indy. Indy makes a move into the sprinters lane. There's still 2 laps to go. Indy's going to try and do it for 500 metres. We saw yesterday Bella, a really good time trialist, so in her individual pursuit, she got the silver medal behind Megan Moore. Now they come around, it's still a lap to go. Bella Potts in control. Indy now trying to move. Can she make a move? She's back up onto the wheel of Bella Potts. Bella having to give it a bit of extra power. Indy Plant now. She's starting to make a move along the back straight. What can she do? Back in behind Bella Potts. Now she's going to have to make a move into the front straight. Can she come around the outside? Bella across the line. Half a bike length or maybe a bit more just over Indy Plant. Got to give Bella the lead going into their second matchup. Next up, April Paddy from Balmoral Cycling Club. She'll be up against Chloe Bowen from University of Queensland. Chloe Bowen also having to come the long way around to get through. She had to go through round 1. Didn't have to do the repechage. This will be a good matchup between Chloe and April. Chloe Bowen to lead this one out. April Paddy will jump onto her wheel. Mum Louise watching from the sidelines. She'll be cheering April the whole way. Speaking of Louise Paddy, special thanks to all the live stream crew who give up their time to video the event so it can get live streamed around the world. We appreciate what you do. Round they come now. Chloe Bowen still on the front. April Paddy stalking from the back. Hasn't left Chloe's wheel as they come into the home straight. 2 laps to go now. Chloe starts to look around. April's going to want to try and catch her by surprise. Chloe good at over a longer distance. What can she do about April Paddy now, though, as they build up speed down the back straight? A lap and a half to go into 3 and 4. April makes the move down into the sprinters lane. Chloe Bowen having to really chase now. Gets onto April's wheel, but the gap opens up. It's half a bike length. Chloe Bowen trying to close it down. It's still half a bike. Into the back straight. Chloe Bowen now onto the back wheel of April. April really having to fight all the way as they come around 3 and 4. April pushing it the whole way home. April Paddy will take the win. Half a bike length over Chloe Bowen. Good move from April. She saw the opening and took it. April getting stronger and stronger every year she's on a bike. Super smart move. She took the initiative and got it. Next up, it will be Sienna Monteith And the Gold Coast Bullet, Maddie Smith. Sienna will lead this one out. Maddie being pushed out by Zane Cunnington. Sienna to lead out Maddie Smith. Maddie just gets an extra push. Speaking of Gold Coast, looks like they're going to have a bit of a carnival down there at the end of January at the Nerang Velodrome. Keep an eye out for that one. Always good racing at Nerang. Sienna Monteith up nice and high. Maddie Smith not too far off her back wheel. So they come into the home straight. Sienna happy to lead this one out. Maddie like a panther at the back, just stalking. What can she do? Maddie will look to take Sienna by surprise as they come around 1 and 2. Starting to build up the speed now. Maddie closes the gap. There goes Sienna. She kicks. Maddie goes with her. What can they do? Lap and a half sprint now. Sienna Monteith in the front. She looks around, sees Maddie Smith coming around the outside. That's alarming as you see Maddie Smith come around the outside of you. Down the back straight, Sienna Monteith. She's falling behind Maddie Smith now. Maddie drops into the sprinters lane. Into the home straight they come. Maddie Smith from the Gold Coast with a good win over Sienna Monteith. Good rides there, so taking a first up win, that'll be Emily Watch from the ACT, Bella Potts, April Paddy and Maddie Smith. Maddie coming around the outside of Sienna. Sienna made the early move, couldn't shake Maddie. Maddie got her way around the outside.
Second matchup for Lockie Waters, Max Clancy. The fastest qualifier, Lachlan Waters with a 11.4, I think. Great. Very quick. Lockie leads out, and he's on a high this weekend. He's been riding very, very well. He took a gold in the IP. He looked dead and buried with 2 laps to go in that IP. Sam Hilditch was coming at him with everything but the kitchen sink, and then somehow he found some reserves and was able to climb back on top in the last 2 laps. It was quite an incredible race, but these boys shoulder to shoulder as they come down the finishing straight. Lachlan Waters taking the first of the match sprints. Clancy just having a look down at him. He was riding for a couple of laps locked with Holzberger. A bit of an exhibition from the Bundaberg boys, who obviously ride together a lot. Lachlan Waters now gets the bell and he's accelerated. Clancy's got some speed and he's not going to give up. He's on the wheel and he's coming with pace, and he comes over the top. Very difficult to get around turn 3 and turn 4, but he's given it an absolute shove. A very good race from Clancy, but Lachlan Waters wins again. Too strong, and he'll move through to the semi-finals. You really have to win that turn 3. It's like hitting a brick wall. Lachlan Walters moves through. And a very good ride there from Max Clancy, who put him under all sorts of pressure. Angus and Seb up next. Angus second fastest qualifier with an 11.5.
Angus will lead out Seb Topping on this one. Angus is one up in this matchup. Seb Topping needing to win this to stay in it. Angus to lead it out. Seb Topping needing the win to get through to the third matchup. Angus looking to close it out so he can make his way through to the semi-final. Sprinting a hard event. You to go fast for a short amount of time, but you have to be endurance because you race all day on sprint day. There is no rest between. You get about 5 minutes between matchups and you have to go hard. There's no time for recovery. You have to really build up your endurance to be able to do sprint racing. Angus looks left. Seb's on his right. Lap and a half to go now as they come down the back straight. Angus looking to close this one out. He took the win in the first matchup. Seb Topping, he gets the start. He comes in underneath Angus. What can he do? Angus now chasing him down the front straight. Into 1 and 2 they go. Angus around the outside. He wants to win this. He wants to go 2-zip down the back straight. Angus Withington from Canberra around the outside. Seb Topping, he's stuck there now in the sprinters lane. He sits up. Angus Withington, he'll go through to the semi-finals. Next up, we'll have Nate Argent and Will Emilias. Nate Argent going one up in this matchup. He'll want to close this one out as well. He'll want to go through the semi-finals without having to go one more. All right, Nate Argent to lead this one out. Both men coming from a BMX background. Will going to try a different tactic this time. He's going to go long distance. Will more accustomed to the track. Nate still racing BMX. Can Will wear him out over 750 metres, keep that pace high? Nate will look for that final sprint. Will gets into the sprinters lane, gets the position he wants. Nate swings up. Down the front straight they go. Good tactical race here from the two men as they come through. Into 1 and 2 they go. Nate now got Will up on his right side. Trying to keep an eye. Will, he's going to try and snap and go. Can he overcome Nate's snap? There he goes, catches him napping, instantly gets 2 bike lengths. Will Emilias now going to have to go on with it. Nate Argent, he's going to have to really fly now. He's got about 4 bike lengths to catch up. Into the back straight, he halves that. Up out of the saddle, he's really going to have to push. Will trying to match it up, even Stevens, as they come into the home straight. Will force it into a third matchup. Really caught Nate by surprise. Unbelievable tactic. He did what he had to do. Nate with a late charge just couldn't get over the top. Yeah, I've just turned it back on. Yeah, they were off here too. I don't know why. Maybe that was that alarm.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. 'Cause I turned that off. That's weird. I haven't seen it before.
Great ride from William Elias. That'll go through to the third matchup. Winner to go through to the semi. Next up, Chris Hollywood Mullins up against Oscar Schoff. Chris Mullins looking super strong all through qualifying the first couple of rounds. He'll want to finish this one off and go through the semis with fresh legs. Oscar Schoff, he wants to force it into a third and final. Chris Mullins leads out Oscar Schoff. Chris, we've seen that snap where he can go from slow to go very quick. Oscar, first year under 17. He's made some great inroads already and made his impact known. He's full of confidence on day 2 of the Queensland Junior State Track Championships. Forces his wheel under Mullo. Mullo not biting, he stays in front. Slow first lap as they come around 3 and 4. Chris very happy riding around on the duck board. Now Oscar moves up. Trying to force Chris into an error. Chris hasn't looked forward for about a lap. Still looking sideways. Speed starting to pick up. Oscar now, he's going to try and go long range. What can he do? It's a lap and a half. Now Oscar really trying to go round the outside. Mullo out of the saddle. He's up over those bars. Down the front straight they come. Oscar having to settle back into Mullo's wheel as they come around 1 and 2. Into the back straight they go. Can Oscar get around the outside? He can't. He's got his wheel up against Mullo's back wheel. Chris Mullins, he's holding him off. He looks around. He pushes it all the way to the line. Hollywood Mullins with a great win. That'll take him through to the semis. Great win from Chris Mullins. Good ride against Oscar Schoff. So Chris will go through to the semis. Lockie Walters through the semis. Angus Withington through the semis. We'll have a third and final matchup between Nate Argent and Will Elias. Going back to our under-17 ladies now. It'll be Emily Watch, who's got a one-up lead over Tilly Pratt. Emily will lead this one out. She got the jump on Tilly in the last one. Off they go. Emily to lead this one out. Matilda up high this time. First time round she sat down in the sprinters lane. Now she's going to go up high. Sets a fast tempo though. She's going to keep Emily Watch guessing. Matilda now into the front. That's where she wanted to be. Emily snaps onto her wheel. As they go around 3 and 4. Tilly takes the pace out of it, looks around. This is what she wanted to do. She wanted to control it. Matilda Pratt from Bundaberg. Round they come, lap and a half to go. Down the back straight. Now Matilda starting to wind it up. Emily trying to watch her as she goes. Watches Matilda Pratt stand up. Stays seated. Sits on her wheel. Lap to go now. Didn't hear the bell, but through we go. Matilda Pratt as she comes through. Emily watch around the outside. Slides past Matilda Pratt. Around 3 and 4. Into the home straight. Emily watch. She'll take the second win. She'll go through the semis. Great ride from Matilda Pratt. Good controlled race from Emily Watch. Sat onto Tilly's wheel for as long as she could, then went around the outside. So they'll send Matilda through to the 5 to 8 finals. Next up, we'll have Bella Potts and Indy Plant. Bella, she took the win in the last one. Indy Plant really needing to take the win now to force it into a third matchup. If Bella takes the win, she'll go straight through to the semis. Indy Plant to lead this one out. Bella got the early advantage. Indy really needing the win. Indy slides down to the sprinters lane. Bella goes up high. She's up above the stayers line. Round they go, 1 and 2. Indy trying to keep an eye. Now she goes up the track. Bella already around the outside of her. Bella's into the front. That's where she wanted to be. She's going to control the race from the front now as they come around 3 and 4. What can Indy do from here? She's going to have to make a surprise attack on Bella Potts. Bella forces her up against the fence. Now the pace has come out of it. Bella's got Indy on her hip. Indy slows down, opens the gap, gives herself options. What can she do from here? Lap and a half to go. Indy will need to make some moves around Bella Potts if she wants to go through to the third round matchup. They'll get the bell this time around. Bella not taking her eyes off. Bella opens the sprint. Indy straight onto her wheel. Bella opens up 2 bike lengths as they go into 1 and 2. Indy's really going to have to push now if she wants to catch Bella. Down the back straight. She closes up the gap by about half. It's still a bike length as they go into 3 and 4. Bella Potts cruising down the front straight. She'll take the win over Indy. So Bella Potts, she'll go through to the semis. Indy will go through to the 5 to 8. Next up, we'll have Chloe Bowen and April Paddy. April Paddy taking the one-up lead in this one. She'll want to finish this one off and go straight through to the semis. Chloe Bowen, she'll do whatever she can to try and get around April, force it to a third matchup. April Paddy to lead this one out. Chloe Bowen into second wheel. What can Chloe do? She needs to overcome April if she's going to force a third matchup. April will want to go 2-zip. Down the back straight they go. Chloe stalking from the back. Round 3 and 4 they go. Quite a serene pace as they go round 3 and 4. April looking around, trying to keep an eye on Chloe Bowen. So they come around with 2 laps to go. April Paddy out of the saddle. Chloe watching. What move can she make? She's going to go early. Catches April napping. Chloe Bowen going to go the long range attack. April Paddy having to dance on the pedals out of the saddle. She's still got a bike length to catch up as they come into the home straight. They'll get the bell. April Paddy around the outside, back into the sprinters lane. Chloe now having to do the chasing. April Paddy opens up the gap. It's about 2 bike lengths. April looks around. Chloe's still there. Into 3 and 4 they go. April Paddy, she'll take this one out. Good effort from Chloe Bowen. She tried to take it long range. April Paddy able to come back, got in front, didn't relinquish the lead from there. April Paddy, that'll take her through to the semis. Next out on track will be Maddie Smith and Sienna Monteith. Maddie taking the early lead on this one, beating Sienna in the last race. Maddie making a great comeback to track racing. Love to see her out there. She's 1 up over Sienna on this one. Maddie wanting to go straight through to the semi. Maddie to lead this one out. Slows it up, makes Sienna wait. Round they go into 1 and 2. Down on the duck board. Now Maddie rolls up the boards. Sienna locked onto her wheel. 2.5 to go. Now Maddie ups the pace a little bit. Coming into the home straight, not much movement between the two girls. Now Maddie looks around. Sienna glued to her back wheel. Maddie Smith from the Gold Coast, what's she going to do here? She's 1 up already. Round she comes. Sienna Monteith glued to her wheel. Sienna needing the win to get through to a 3rd round matchup. Maddie wants to take it to the semis now. She wants to take a win. Sienna starting to move underneath. Now Sienna winds it up, trying to catch Maddie napping. Maddie stays seated. Now she starts to up her sprint. Now they've got a lap to go, 250 metres. Maddie into her position. Sienna coming around the outside of 1 and 2. Can Maddie hold her off down the back straight? They're hip to hip as they come into 3 and 4. Maddie just edges out, closer out the front. Into the home straight they go. Maddie Smith holds off Sienna Monteith. Maddie Smith with a good win. She'll go through to the semis. Good win from Maddie Smith over Sienna Monteith. So that'll be our semi-finalists for our junior women 17s. Emily Watch, Bella Potts, April Paddy and Maddie Smith, all through to the semis. Now we'll have our 17-year-old men, 9 to 16. No best of 3s on these ones. Righto, up first, we have young Lockie Chamberlain from Hamilton Wheelers. He'll be up against Bodie Dusha. Bodie we're very familiar with at the track. Lockie Chamberlain starting to dip his toe. Accomplished on the road and crits. What can he do on the track? Big go Bodie cheer from the crowd. Bodie leading this one out. As they come through, this will be for 13 and 14. Bodie looking left and right. Trying to see where Lockie is. Lockie glued to his wheel with 2 laps to go. Very wily racer, Bodie Dusha. Trying to force Lockie Chamberlain into an error. This is where Bodie's years of expertise on the track will help. Lockie still trying to find his feet in racing. As Bodie goes higher, they've got just over a lap to go. Lockie on the inside, forces Bodie up high. Now Bodie down the inside into the sprinters lane. Good sprint from Lockie Chamberlain as they come round hip to hip around 1 and 2. Bodie Dusha slides on the inside, down the back straight. It's still Bodie Dusha. Lockie having to come the long way around now of 3 and 4. Bodie Dusha still in the lead as they come into the home straight. Bodie Dusha will take the win and 13th place. Lockie Chamberlain with 14. Next out on track, we'll have Eli Taylor and Alex Choi. They'll be looking for 11 and 12. Eli getting himself set on the start line. Alex coming up beside him. This will be for 11th and 12th in the 17 men. Godzilla gives Alex a slap. Eli Taylor to lead this one out. Alex Choi onto his wheel. What can Eli do? He hasn't been feeling great the last couple of days. Didn't want to miss out on participating at the Queensland State Champs. He's out there. Rapid pace set by Eli Taylor in the first lap. Well known for his ability over longer distances, Eli. What can he do here? 2 laps to go. Alex Choi stuck to his wheel. This is for 11 and 12. Round they come. Eli has a look around. Where is he? Right behind you. What can Alex do? Battle for 11th and 12th position in the 17 men's final. Alex dives down on the inside, forces Eli to go around the outside. Good move from Alex Choi. Eli now ducks back in behind Alex into the sprinters lane. Down the back straight. Eli now around the outside. Alex Choi holding him off. Alex flirting with the line, but he doesn't go over it. Around the front straight they come. Eli Taylor will come over the line just in front of Alex Choi.
Make sure you use full wrist movements, yeah? This is too loose.
Next out on track, the mates from Bundaberg, Liam Vaughan and Will Holzberger. This will be for 9th and 10th. Next up, we'll have our final matchup between Will Emilias and Nate Argent as they're looking to get their way through to the semi-final. This one will be for 9 and 10. Liam Vaughan, the young man from Bundy, he's lined up ready to go. Will Holzberger, also from Bundy, he's lined up on the starters line. Liam Vaughan, he'll lead this one out. Forces Will around the outside already. Tactics from the Bundy boys straight up. Liam forcing Will Holzberger up high. What can he do here? Will Holzberger ups the pace. Liam Vaughan having to kick a little bit to get in line with him. They're shoulder to shoulder around 1 and 2. They'll come around with 2 laps to go. Liam just holding Will up nice and close to the fence. They've practiced this a million times at Bundaberg. Down the back straight they go, the pace really high now. Will Holzberger jumps, Liam goes with him. Into the sprinters lane goes Liam Vaughan. Now Will Holzberger slips in behind him. He got some pace off the height of the track. Down they come, there's the bell, 250 to go, 200 to go now. Liam's still in front. Will having to go the long way around the back straight. Liam holding him off for now. Liam Vaughan around 3 and 4. He's got Will Holzberger on the ropes. As they come into the main straight, Will turns it off. Liam Vaughan, he'll go home with the number 9. Will Holzberger in 10th. Now our final matchup to get through to the semis. This will be Will Emilias versus Nate Argent. Nate Argent getting the win on the first matchup. Will, catching Nate by surprise, was able to open up 4 or 5 bike lengths. And Nate not able to close it. He was only about half a wheel behind at the finish line. Will look to employ similar tactics this time around. Nate will have to look around and make sure he doesn't let that happen again. Nate Argent straight to the front. He wanted that. Got in front of Willem Elias. Nate Argent, he's going to try and control this. Really quick over 200 metres. He'll want to save the sprint for as late as possible. Will, he's going to try every tactic in the book to get around. Steve Brown, the coach, making him use his head on the line. Work it out. What can you do? Will goes up high. He's going to try and force Nate into another mistake. Nate doesn't want to get caught napping again as they go into 1 and 2, 2 laps to go. Round 1 and 2 they go. Pace out of it now. Will goes high. He's going to try and make a jump again. Nate hasn't stopped looking at him. Now the speed increases down the back straight. What's Will got? Nate pushes him up high again. He doesn't want to get caught napping. He's not going to look forward this time. Now Will goes. This is going to be a drag race for 250 metres. Round they go. Nate Argent onto his wheel. Down the back straight. What can Nate do? Will Emilias in the front. Match to perfection as they go round 3 and 4. Nate going to have to make a late charge. Can he do it around the outside? Be Will Emilias. Will take it again by about half a wheel. Smart riding from Will. Nate Argent blowing a front tyre as he comes round. Glad that didn't happen in the at top speed. Good skills by Nate. He's brought that home safely. Nate will go through to the 5 to 8 finals. Will, he's through the semis now. Next up, we've got our sprint for the junior women's 17s. This is for the 5th to 10th place. Out on track for 9 and 10, that'll be Grace Hunter and Annalise Murray. Grace going to lead this one out from UQ. Annalise from Rockhampton.
Wasn't he a virgin before? I swear there was a joke about it. How old is he?
What can the ladies do here? This for 9th and 10th. Grace off to a good start. She's going to hold Annalise up high. So they come around 1 and 2.
Who's he played for?
Annalise slips onto Grace's wheel now. 2.5 laps to go. Grace Hunter in control. Got Annalise on her wheel. 2 laps to go. Grace looking left and right. Doesn't want to leave anything to chance. This is the last sprint matchup for the 17 women today. Grace goes with an early kick. She wants to catch Annalise by surprise. Gets 2 bike lengths already as they got 1.5 laps to go. Round 3 and 4 into the home straight. Grace Hunter opens up the gap. 3 or 4 bike lengths now. 250 metres to go. Into 1 and 2, 200 metres to go now. The gap stays the same. Annalise going to have to do a lot of work around the back straight. Grace looks around, kicks again. Annalise trying everything as she comes around 3 and 4. Grace Hunter out of 4 into the front straight. Grace Hunter will take home 9th, Annalise 10th. Be Indy Plan up against Matilda Pratt for 7th and 8th. Both ladies have seen a lot of racing already today in session 3 of our Junior State Track Championships here at Annamere's Velodrome. Matilda Pratt, she'll lead this one out from Indy Plant. Tilly to lead this one off. Indy onto her wheel. Matilda's going to go with a bit of speed into this one. Going to set the tempo high from the start. Be a good matchup between the 2 young ladies. Now Indy starting to go high. What can she do? Matilda goes high. Doesn't want to give away too much free speed to Indy. Indy comes down on the inside. She takes the lead position. Now Matilda next to her. Matilda's going to go from 2 laps out. Now she looks around. Now Indy's at the back again. Now she's up on the right as they go up high. Cat and mouse between Indy and Matilda. Matilda kicks it off. Indy really having to start to sprint now as they come down the back straight. Tilly Pratt coming into the home straight. 250 metres to go now. What can she do? Indy Plant around the outside. Indy rockets around the outside. Matilda Plant hasn't given up. Indy Plant coming around now. 1/2 lap to go. Indy Plant will romp this one home. She'll take home 7th position. Matilda Pratt, she'll take home 8th. Good ride from Indy Plant from UQ. Next up, it'll be Sienna Monteith and Chloe Bowen. They're fighting it out for 5th and 6th. So good ride, Indy Plant into 7th, Matilda Pratt into 8th. Sienna Monteith from Balmoral, she'll lead this one out. Chloe Bowen, the triathlete from UQ, she'll take 2nd wheel. After this, we'll have our under 15 ladies and men's IP final. They did their qualifying earlier on today. Sienna and Chloe now, they're fighting out for 5th and 6th for the sprint in the Queensland State Track Championships. Sienna with the lead. Chloe leaving about 2 bike lengths as they come around 3 and 4. They'll come around with 2 laps to go. Sienna not taking her eyes off Chloe. She knows she can go from long range. Forces Chloe up high. Now Chloe in the lead. Sienna jumping onto her wheel. What can she do from there? Sienna Monteith. Chloe Bowen looks around. What's in her bag of tricks now? What can she do? Sienna winding it up. Chloe winding it up. Lap and a half to go. Who's going to blink first? Chloe's looking, having a look. Now she drops down. Sienna goes with her into the front straight. 1 lap to go. Sienna looking comfortable. Chloe out the front. 250 metres. 200. Now Sienna comes around the outside. Down the back straight. She'll want to have it done before 3. Hip to hip as they come into 3 and 4. Sienna Monteith eases her way around Chloe Bowen as they come into the home straight. Sienna Monteith, she'll take the win over Chloe Bowen. So it'll be Sienna into 5th place, Chloe into 6th. So for our junior women under 17 for the sprints, Sienna will collect 5th, Chloe 6th, Indy Plan 7th, Matilda Pratt 8th, Grace Hunter 9th, and Annalise Murray will collect 10th. So here we go with our IP 2,000 metre bronze medal ride-off. This will be between Mackenzie Smith and Elise Vaughan for their qualifying. There was 0.35 of a second between the two ladies. 0.35 of a second. What can they do now over 2,000 metres? Elise Vaughan, she'll come from the front straight. Kenzie Smith from the Gold Coast, she'll be on the back straight.
They went that gate, so we must have it there. Where is this pursuit bronze final? I never realised they had security cameras, so watching that. Yeah, mate. Probably break your neck if you went head first. I'd be like a TGI. So are we following Mackenzie and they're following other chick? Elise. Yeah, probably keep following my brother and
This will be a good match-up between Mackenzie and Elise. 0.35 of a second, the difference in their qualifying time. Who will come out on top of this one and take home the bronze medal? $20 seconds to go. Good start from both girls, out of the gates cleanly as they go through. Even Stevens for the first quarter of a lap as they come around now. Elise Vaughan, no pursuit bars. Kenzie Smith settled into her rhythm now. What can she do? Not much between the two girls in the qualifying. Elise Vaughan takes an early lead as we go through. She's about 1.1 up on Mackenzie Smith. As they settle into their rides, Mackenzie will look to draw that back slowly over the 8 laps. as they come round now. Elise Vaughan building up a good lead. Is it going to be enough for the later laps when the legs are tired as she comes through? She'll have about in her drops as they come around now. Still a good gap between Elise and Mackenzie as they ride through. We'll get a time split now. Mackenzie looks like she might have closed the gap. No, it's out to 2 seconds now for Elise Vaughan as they come through. Almost halfway there. 2 seconds the gap. What can Mackenzie do over the final 1,000 metres as they come through now? Elise Vaughan coming around 3 and 4 into the front straight. 1,000 metres down, 1,000 metres to go. She's got a good lead over Mackenzie now. It's about 3 seconds. It's 2.97. 3 seconds for Mackenzie to claw back over the next 4 laps. Elise Vaughan, she doesn't look like she's getting tired either. She's giving it everything. Mackenzie has to pick up the pace now. She really has to come back. 3 seconds is a lot. Now, Elise Vaughan across the line. The gap opens up even more. It's 3.6 seconds now with 3 laps to go. Mackenzie Smith is going to have to dig deep. Elise Vaughan, 2.5 laps to go now. Mackenzie Smith, now she's got 2.5 to go. She's really going to have to hammer it home to close down that 3.6 seconds. But Elise Vaughan has opened it up even more. 2 laps to go now for Elise Vaughan. Out of the saddle, she can taste the bronze medal. That's 3.3 seconds to Mackenzie Smith. Lap and a half to go. Mackenzie is going to have to hammer it home. Elise Vaughan out of the saddle again on the back straight. Mackenzie rocking from side to side, trying to get the power out. What can she do? The gap has closed a tiny bit. Elise Vaughan out of the saddle now. That's down. The gap, 2.6. That's a lot to catch up for Mackenzie, but it's closed by about a second. Down the back straight, Elise Vaughan out of the saddle, across the line. Mackenzie now across the line. The gap might be too big. Elise Vaughan, she's got it. She's going to take home the bronze medal. Out of the saddle. Great ride from Elise Vaughan. She'll take it by 2.3 seconds over Mackenzie Smith.
Yeah, she's stronger.
Good ride from Elise Vaughan. Mackenzie Smith not able to close that gap.
Sadly, it's not a paid gig. Yeah. Actually?
Just looking back on the scores, it looks like Elise Vaughan might have just beaten her time from this morning to take the win. So to give Elise the bronze. Up next, we're going to have Sienna Golding and Ava Robbins. This is our gold medal ride-off. Ava Robbins dominant this morning with a 240.1. Sienna Golding with a 254.2. Right, into the gates they go. Ava Robbins on the front straight. Sienna Golding over on the back straight. What can they do here? This is for gold and silver. Both are going home with a medal, just depending on what colour. Out of the gates well for Ava Robbins. Sienna Golding a little bit slow out of the gate on the back straight. Ava out of the saddle. She's going to try and push it before she settles into position. Sienna Golding, no pursuit bars. Ava Robbins with about 2 or 3 bike lengths in the first half a lap. Round they come. Ava Robbins looking dominant already. She's got about 8 bike lengths over the top of Sienna. She's 2.2 seconds in front already. Ava Robbins as she comes around. Into the back straight. Sienna Golding, she's going to have to do this without pursuit bars, in the drops the whole way. Great effort to get through the gold-silver final. Ava Robbins now. No time there for the first lap, but it was about a 22nd second lap. As she comes around, she can see Sienna in her sights now as she goes down the back straight. Sienna comes through, 5.5 to go. Ava comes into the front straight. She'll get 5 to go now. She can clearly see Sienna Golding in her sights as she comes through. Sienna, 5 laps to go as Ava comes into the back straight just behind her. 4.5 laps to go now for Ava as she comes around. Sienna starting to look tired now. She's got 4.5 to go. Halfway for Ava. Good time. She's on about a 1:18 for the first 4 laps. As she goes through, she'll catch Sienna on the back straight. She'll go around the outside, down the back straight. She catches. Ava Robbins wins gold. Doesn't have to do any more than that. Ava Robbins with the individual pursuit to take home gold. Sienna Golding, she'll take home the silver. Sienna hasn't realised that she's been caught. That's all Ava had to do. Once she caught the back of Sienna, that was the gold medal. It's done. Done in 4 laps. Congratulations, Ava Robbins. You take home the gold. Sienna Golding, you'll take home silver.
Turn that off. Go and cheer it every lap.
No. We can't, mate. It's June. What's Alex up to? Oh, yeah? What for? Nice.
If COVID hadn't happened, he would have done the tour in his team.
Is he at Churchill?
Righto, next out on track, our men under 15s individual pursuit bronze medal final. From Hamilton Wheelers, Harry Dowling. From UQ, Flynn Larkins. These 2 young men go to school together. Flynn in year 7, Harry in year 8. This will be a great matchup. There was 1 second between them. What can they do? 2,000 metres. Ten seconds to go now. Harry settles into position. Good start from both young men as they get out of the gates. As they come around 1 and 2, Harry, super efficient on the bike. He'll maintain his tempo the whole way. What can Flynn Harry may bring that back later on. Flynn off to a speedy start as he goes into the front straight. They're both in their bars now. Flynn, he's got 1.3 over Harry Dowling. Flynn will need to push it the whole way through. Harry Dowling likely to come back later in the race as they come across the line now. Big effort from these 2 young men. They're looking for the bronze medal. Winner will take home the bronze. The loser will come home with 4th place. It's only 0.3 of a second in it now as they come through. Who can do this? They've got 5.5 laps to go. Not even halfway yet. Harry Dowling moves into the lead now as they start to move. Flynn Larkin saying to push it. What can they do over the next 5 laps? Harry Dowling, five laps to go. He's got 1 second over Flynn Larkins. He's really pushing it now, Harry Dowling. He wants to make the move. What can he do as he comes down the back straight? Got a good lead over Flynn Larkins. Harry Dowling. Flynn Larkins now pushing it into 1 and 2. What can he do? Big lead now for Harry. It's gone out to about 10 bike lengths as they got halfway. 1,000 metres to go. It's 2.2 seconds. Halfway there. 2.2 seconds, the difference between Flynn and Harry. Harry really looking to get that bronze medal now. Flynn puts his head down. What can he do for these last 3 laps? Round they come. Harry Dowling, 750 metres to go. He's got a good lead over Flynn Larkins as they come through. It's 3 seconds. Flynn needing to get a second a lap now to catch Harry Dowling. What can he do? Harry's setting a really good pace. Through they go. Harry Dowling now. Flynn Larkins across the start-finish line. 2.5 to go. 2 laps now to go for Harry. Harry Dowling, 500 metres to go. He's got a great gap over Flynn Larkins. Flynn going to have to move. He's 4 seconds behind. Harry Dowling with a lap and a half to go. Flynn pushing it. He's out of the saddle. What can he do? He's got a lap and a half to do it if he's going to do it. Around comes Harry Dowling. He's wobbling a little bit now. Has Harry lost his pace? I don't think so. The gap's still there. A lap to go. 3 seconds. It's going to be a big effort to pull that back in 250 metres. Round Harry goes. Flynn pushing. You can see him wobbling on his bike. What can he bring it back to? Round they go, 1 and 2. Harry Dowling, he'll come through into the home straight to take home the bronze. Good work, Harry Dowling. Flynn Larkins finishing 2 seconds behind. Good ride from Harry Dowling and Flynn Larkins. Great ride. Well done, Harry Dowling from Hamilton Wheelers. You're taking home bronze medal in the individual pursuit.
No, I got another year. You graduated?
Oh, I graduated last year.
Oh, shit. I got another year.
I have a tip for you.
Yo.
Do a diploma and not care about your age. I think you're more likely to get into it. You need a diploma.
Next up in our gold final from Balmoral Cycling Club, Ollie Jordan. He'll be in the front straight. On the back straight from Gold Coast Cycling Club, Riley Dixon.
Scott, how you going? Good. How you been? I've been good, mate. It's been hot and busy. Yeah, how you been? Nice to you. You down here with all the Bundy kids?
Yeah, we got 11 here.
Oh, okay.
Getting it back down here again next weekend. So it's sweet. So.
Sweet.
You're not doing any riding at the moment?
Nah, 19 now, but still riding over the road.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy the track as much.
Brady never enjoyed the track.
How's Brody going?
10 seconds to go. Ollie Jordan on the front straight, Riley Dixon on the back straight. Oh, Riley gets hooked up in the gates a little bit. Ollie out to a good start. Riley just went a little bit early. The gates held him back. As they come around now, fast start from both riders. Riley trying to go at it. Nothing between the two for the first half a lap. Riley really trying to go on with it. He wants to set the pace early as he comes around. Looks like Riley might be maybe just in front. He is by 0.2 of a second. Ollie settled into his rhythm now. Ollie Jordan coming around. Riley, he's gone out fast. He's going to have to keep this up for 2 kilometres. What can he do as they come around now? 2 laps down, 6 to go. It's Ollie Jordan just by 0.1 of a second over Riley Dixon. What can they do? 5.5 laps to go. Riley really starting to try and push it now. Ollie Jordan down the back straight looks super strong on his bike as he comes around 3 and 4. Now he opens up the gap getting bigger now. It's 1.1 seconds to Ollie Jordan. Riley off to a flyer of a start. Now he's starting to lose some of that speed. Opens up the gap. It's about 5 or 6 bike lengths between Riley and Ollie Jordan now as they go through. Ollie Jordan continue his dominant display over the weekend. He goes through. He's got 3 laps to go. 2.5 seconds. Sorry, that was halfway to go. Sorry, not 3 laps to go. Halfway done. Round they come. Riley now. Ollie Jordan might just be able to see him as he slides around 1 and 2. 3 laps to go for Ollie. 750 metres. Riley Dixon down the back straight. Ollie can definitely see Riley now as he goes down the back straight into 3 and 4. 2.5 to go for Riley. Ollie Jordan, he'll come around 4. He can see Riley. 2 laps to go. Through they come. Ollie Jordan with a good lead now, almost on the tail of Riley Dixon. They're definitely in the same straight. A lap and a half to go now for Ollie Jordan. Riley Dixon into the front straight. He just doesn't want to get caught. There's the bell lap for Ollie Jordan. 250 metres to go. Riley trying to push it. Ollie Jordan can see him. He's only 30 metres in front, if that, 20 metres as they come through. 1 lap to go for Riley Dixon now. Ollie Jordan around 3 and 4. Riley Dixon right there with him. Ollie Jordan, he'll take the gold medal home. Ollie Jordan continues his great weekend, taking home a gold medal. Riley Dixon to finish it off. He gets silver. Good ride from Riley and Ollie.
What was your time?
Great ride there from Ollie Jordan and Riley Dixon to finish off the individual pursuit finals. We'll have the presentations coming up for those shortly. After the presentations, we'll have a 30-minute break before we come back for our under-17 sprint semi-finals. Then we'll have our team pursuit qualifying. Then we'll move into some scratch races for the under-15 and our sprint finals for the 17s. And then we'll have our team pursuit finals later on this afternoon. So the 15s and 17s will have their scratch races on today. That'll close out the session with the under-17 scratch race.
They're turning the aircon on soon, right?
All right, as we move into our presentations for our under-15 individual pursuit 2,000 metres, in third place, taking home bronze medal, Elise Vaughan from Bundaberg Cycling Club. In second place with a silver medal from Balmoral Cycling Club, Sienna Golding. And also from Balmoral Cycling Club, taking home the gold, Ava Robbins. Great riding from all three ladies. Next up, we'll have our presentation for the under-15 men individual pursuit 2,000 metre finals. In third place and taking home the bronze medal from Hamilton Wheelers Cycling Club, Harrison Dowling. In second place and the silver medal from Gold Coast Cycling Club, Riley Dixon. And from Balmoral Cycling Club, taking home the gold, Oliver Jordan. Great riding from the young men. We're going to take a 30-minute break and we'll be back with our sprint semi-finals.